because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
We had to bully Wicked so she'd say go live.
Excuse me, we were late
Like
because
we were
this
sitting
brew
here
kept
and she's like,
talking.
no, I refuse to go live. It's like we literally, it's like, no, if you don't do it, the chat demands we go live. She's like, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I'm not gonna. I'll cut you off. I won't cut Savvy off. That's rude.
Oh, it's fine. Everyone does that.
It's you have to. Sometimes you just have to cut Disbrew off. The chat, they get it. We have a thing here called the Dispicu. So sometimes, like if someone super
Yes,
chats
I
and I'm
just
trying to
keep
read
talking.
it, he just keeps talking, and I'm like, hold.
It's not my
please
fault.
hold.
You pull up the super chat on the screen in the middle of me talking. And
Well,
it's
what
like,
else
well,
am
I'm
I
just
gonna pull him
finish
up when
what
you're
I'm
always
saying.
talking? But you said yourself you're always talking, so I just got to do it.
It is bad. I can't remember what stream it is. Oh no, it's Mike's stream with Ben. They had a thing where if anyone super chats, he has to shut up. So whenever he started talking, people would super chat. He's like, Ben, stop it. And then he started reading the super chat every time.
You got your milk?
No, I don't. I do have whiskey though.
Ew.
I technically have 2 bottles because.
Okay.
Oh wait, you guys are drinking. Well, nobody told me to drink.
Oh, you
It's
can
called
if you
Saucy
want.
Saturdays for a reason.
I'm
Don't be.
stupid.
This is our first time here. Don't be rude.
No,
You
it's
don't have
fine.
to
I'm
drink.
dumb. I thought we were gonna start talking about pasta sauce. I came here for my expertise in the sauce department.
Yeah.
We like
It's like,
two
well,
kinds
Wicked
of sauce.
does claim to
pasta
be Italian
and
a lot of the time.
He said, "I'm not allowed to be Italian because I'm American." It's okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Because
I mean, they do tend to be, like,
everyone's
mutually
just
exclusive.
English.
my Italian grandmother is actually very disappointed in me because I express no Italianness.
It's okay.
Very, very
This
upset.
brew
Mamma
approves.
mia more often.
That's his Italian. Mamma mia.
That's basically all they do. That and eat pizza.
It's true.
But the milk. Well, we should let Savvy know about the milk lore.
What's the
So-
milk lore? Why is that a thing?
This
Look,
brew.
If you
he-
drink milk, everyone
Right.
loses their mind, and I don't know
No.
why. It's very weird.
No, it's because you keep your milk at your desk, and we want to know how long it's been there
I'm
and if it's
drinking
warm.
it. Where
Wait
else
a
am I
sec-
supposed to keep it for me to drink it?
Like
It's
you
the
keep a
fridge.
carton with you,
I drink it out of the carton, which is next to me.
but you keep the carton on the desk
Yes,
for the
that's
day.
what I'm
drinking
I'm
it.
assuming
Well, I drink it in less than a day, but yes.
you drink an entire carton of milk in less than a day.
He loves milk.
I mean, when we say a carton, we're talking about like a liter.
Right.
Okay.
It's not like a 6-pint bottle.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand those units because I went to college and chemistry is an asshole. So I know how much that is, but why? Is this a day? How much? What's your milk budget? Is that like your biggest expense?
He's on the stream just to pay
How
for his
expensive
milk.
do you think milk is if it requires a budget?
Well, if you drink I don't
If
know.
you're
It's
drinking
not
a liter
expensive. I
a
might as well
day-
just buy a cow and keep it outside.
Why don't you?
Oh,
You could
there
go suckle on the teat anytime you're thirsty.
Someone
There
well,
you made him speechless. Yeah.
Oh
Or
no!
Cody. Oh
just,
my
you
gosh.
just need Camelot. I don't think Camelot would fit on the desk. There's a lot of monitors in the way.
Oh,
You'd-
he
he
found a way to
needs-
push.
Camelot would at least need to like straddle the monitors if he was going to be on the desk.
Why are you giving him ideas? You know Cody
Well,
will do
hey.
that.
That's
Hey.
this is what men do. They think about the logistics. It's like, well, how else is he going to sort of mechanically work being on the desk?
It's
Yeah,
not
I'm
that
gonna have
hard.
to take a sip of this already. Here for the booze. I
Like,
this
if my
cup.
entire desk collapses, it's because Camelot has flown over here. I'm not sure it could actually survive his weight. That's not. I'm not calling Camelot fat. I'm just saying the
You
desk
just
might
called
not be
the
that
poor man
sturdy.
fat, or your desk is the
No.
weakest thing ever.
Well, no.
You
If
know
anything,
Cody's
muscle weighs more
sensitive.
than fat, so it could be complementary. Calling a man heavy might actually be complementary if he's like weightlifting. Muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah,
Sort
see,
of.
I was wondering if Ian was going to hop in and say something about his
Obviously, men
project.
don't straddle monitors. We were just working out how the mechanics of how
could.
it would work. I'm the kind
Oh,
of guy.
I didn't-
I was in college once, and I worked out the exact kind of pulley and lever. This is going to sound really weird. If you thought it was weird so far, the exact pulley and lever
Just wait.
system that would be required for dolphins and monkeys to communally teach maths. Like, the dolphin would probably be smart enough to do the maths, so you'd need, like, a pulley swing system for him to write on the board, and you could have monkeys in the ceiling.
Well,
that
that's
would,
like basic level physics. That's the kind of thing that you learn in Physics 101, the basic pulley system.
Well, yes, there's a pulley system, but then you need the swing system and going up and down with monkeys operating it. How on earth would you train the monkeys to do it?
The monkey training would be super easy. Are you kidding me? You just put some peanuts out there and set up a keyword.
They have to know what he's writing. Because like he can only wiggle a certain amount, right? So the monkeys kind of have to understand what's going on.
Oh, for that bit, yeah.
Go on with the dolphin. So do you have dolphins also doing the pulley system for the dolphin with the monkeys just abseiling down to check?
No, so the dolphin could actually have something attached to its flipper or its tail, and then based off of the angle that it's lifting or lowering it, that could turn it horizontally.
Yeah, the tail could do left and right, up and down.
Yeah. There's some math here.
Yeah, you would need like what's it like a gearing system because its tail wouldn't move that much, but it would be possible.
Yep. I used to be a redstone technician.
This is the kind of engineering the world needs.
No, it's fine. Like, so look, I spent 2.5 hours one day figuring out the process of turning fart gas into a liquid through a very specific process. So that way you could find out how many farts in a year it would take to make a gamer girl e-thought tequila, basically. It would be about 750 farts. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 1,300 farts for the year for a girl.
I'm still stuck on why we need farts for
He's
tequila.
like, wait, rewind.
Okay, so you know how like there's the bathwater thing, and then there was what's your bucket?
Brew bathwater. Actually, the chat asks for that quite often.
Oh, dude, you should do that.
This is something that this is wicked. Wicked makes this crap up, and she's like, no,
the chat said it before. Chat one's in the chat if you want just brew bathwater. Sorry, Sammy.
No, that's because the chat will do whatever you say. This doesn't mean they actually want it. It's because Wicked is asking for it.
No,
we've already been through this.
No. Stop interrupting Savvy.
Why would you want fart tequila in the first place? Like,
because that's because there's a bathwater thing, and then you had what's her bucket gonna go make vaginal yeast booze, right? And so I said, well, let's take it a step further. Let's do the gas.
Yep. No, someone's already done that. They just sold the farts.
Yeah, I know, but now we're going the extra
giving them like medical issues. The problem was they became so bloated it actually significantly impacted their health.
That's why I said over a year. So you collect it through a special process that only has about 70% efficiency, which is why I added a couple hundred farts after that, just to make up for what you would lose in the conversion process to be able to make the ethanol.
The point of I don't know enough about the chemistry of how farts turn into ethanol.
So I'd have to get you the whole. I'll send it to you after. It's actually a fascinating process.
That's fair enough. Yeah. I was like, well, surely the tequila is the point, so you just fill the air in the top. But you like, no, we're turning this gas into a liquid.
Yeah. Wow. No, it's a whole process. It's really fascinating. I'll have to send you some videos and some material on it.
I think the yeast beer is far more like efficient and therefore cheaper.
It's definitely more efficient, but it's more disgusting.
Honestly, I
by
mean,
the
they're both
time
pretty
you're talking
gross,
about
but
fart tequila, I think we're way past the line of disgusting.
No. So fart tequila, all you're doing is just extracting the ethanol. That's all it is. So what you're left with is ethanol. With the whole yeast collection thing, there's too many variables for error, and you're gonna end up possibly with some pee in there, and that's gonna be really nasty. It's disgusting. I believe in pure products.
He's really thinking.
I mean, you're talking about farts as it is, but not going to be pure. You'd have to at least filter them. Yeah,
they're filtered. They are filtered, and then all you do is extract the ethanol.
I'm sure you can filter the yeast.
Well,
it's far more. I'm just scared you might price yourself out of the market because you can make something that's so incredibly rare. Like, okay, but I can sell like 2 bottles a year. You know.
You're not selling a whole lot.
Yeah, this is for your peak fans.
This is for the guy who's dumping like $20,000 or that new BMW on you.
The moderators.
Yeah. The Reddit mods.
Have you ever been on Twitch?
Like,
15
look,
minutes flat? Those people will buy it.
You work for free. Here's some fart beer. Well, tequila.
I wonder
Why did you
though
decide
if you
on
could
tequila
actually
and not anything else.
Tequila was just the first one that came to mind. Honestly, I think the better comparison would be like a type of vodka or something. But I wonder if there's
degenerate.
Yeah, definitely. But I wonder if there's a way to do that with sweat. I think that there'd be enough salts and alcohol in the sweat to be able to extract it.
Do you think they do enough work to sweat?
So you don't
Like
even have to do any
girls?
work if you put the lights on them for the right lighting that they have to do to get the boob shine and the butt jiggles, right? So that's
Well,
making
no,
them
because
sweat a little.
they spray bottle themselves. They're in air-conditioned rooms
That
and they spray
too.
bottle themselves.
Yeah, they do keep it
just
cold.
looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This Rue knows all about the.
I know that from
Ethotness.
Africa streams. The Koreans, they know all the tricks.
Yeah.
If you want to know what Twitch can be to Africa TV, the Koreans are already there. They're way more intelligent. They've got everything locked down. They're far better dancers. And they have
That's true.
personalities.
That is actually true. They
Yeah.
do the cute routines.
Yes. They
yeah.
have nailed it. Because essentially what you're doing, you're turning femininity into a product and then selling it.
Mhm.
And the Koreans just have that. Everyone else is far too... I mean, if you grow up in sort of the Western culture, femininity isn't exactly taught to you, but in Korea it is.
No.
So
Yeah.
if you are simultaneously brought up in a more traditional culture and then do the whole, I just want to exploit this, you're kind of trained for it already.
Yeah.
They're a next level.
They were ready before it even. was
Yeah,
a
back
thing.
on my Twitch days, I actually made a video mocking all of the big titty crying streamers because back in my day, it was more common
Crying?
for. Oh yeah, so this is back when League of Legends was still constantly getting the viral hits of the women not actually playing games, but so they'd wear several bras at a time and then
that's going
fake
back
cry.
a long time.
Yeah, this is a while ago. That was my day. That was like when what's her bucket, who's married to the guy who used to do the funny shit, but now he's like super watered down in a big snowflake. What's your bucket?
I know who you mean. I can't remember his name.
So back when she was Rainbow Kids.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
I've only learned that lore after he already became the person he is.
Yeah. So
But
I
do remember that
knew them in the before time.
there was a time in Twitch's history before
I don't
I
know
went
who
on
they are.
Twitch where they didn't set a rule that
Mhm.
the game you could be whatever. So there'd be women where the camera was the main screen and their
Yep.
game would be like a little camera thing.
Yep.
And now
Don't
it's
they
inverse.
still do that?
But
Yeah,
only 'cause-
so not anymore, not so much anymore. They got in trouble for it, but so when I
There
was
was a
around during
rule.
that time, I made videos and I would do streams kind of explaining. I would start off with the character, like, I'd wear several bras and an intense amount of makeup. And then, after about 2 hours of receiving hundreds of dollars in donations of people being triggered, because I guess that was a thing too, hate donating. I miss those days. I would then slowly start removing everything and remove all the makeup. Well, one day I made a YouTube video kind of parodying it. A stream was sent to me. Do you know who actually no, I shouldn't expose who it is because I think she's still popular.
Oh.
So she ended up pulling up that video of me and she's like, "Oh, cool, a tutorial."
Oh.
So I privated the video immediately and I just said, "Nope, no more. I'm done."
Well, that's
Oh my
always the
God.
point, though. It's always in the search of the next meta. Like, there was my favorite one so far has been where they started to green screen themselves,
Yeah.
and so it was like they would green screen their ass, and Twitch was like, "Wait,
That was a
people are
fun
just
one.
like." I saw someone broadcasting a Trump rally on their top that they were wearing like clothes. And
Now
then it was just
that's
Trump.
American.
I was like,
It is.
this might be the best Trump rally that's ever been held in the history of the universe. But
Yeah.
then they were like, no, you can't do that. And so when they banned doing that, she just inversed it. And so then her clothes were the green screen. And they were like, okay, so we've got to ban that. Because Twitch won't just go, don't be a thought, right? So because everybody knows what they're trying to do, but Twitch is like, well, we can't really tell them that they should probably just...
Yeah, because then it's not
Wear
inclusive
clothes.
and empowering.
So they're trying to come up with rules of exactly where they can push it. And it's like, wherever you put that line, they will go to that line and slowly increase it over time. This is why there's a mirror in the background now. And that's a really basic one, but it's one that Twitch hasn't banned for some reason. My favorite there's two favorite rules I like. One is you can't wear a bikini on Twitch, but you can if there's a body of water in your nearby vicinity.
It doesn't even have to be a body of water anymore. It's just, are you near an apparatus that can contain the water?
Don't
I
they
didn't
have
know it
hot
didn't need
tubs
water in it. Like, yeah,
and
I have
pools
seen
now?
like
The section, the category, just like kick.
yeah, because it used to be if you were at the swimming pool or the beach, then they were like, well, paddling pools in your house kind of work. That fulfills that. So then they were in it. Then they realized, well, my feet get wrinkly and stuff in the water. So what if I just had the paddling pool over there and I'm here? And they
Dude,
were like,
I
"Yeah,
used
that's
to have
fine."
a stripper pole on my stream. Back when that was a thing. Back before they started making rules. That's how old school I am. I
Yeah.
was actually one of the first with the stripper pole. Now I never used it seriously. I wasn't trying to do no strip routine and nobody wants to see that. I'm so ungraceful. But we would do some funny stuff with it.
I would knock something over for sure. I can barely move. Ask him how many times with my
Hey,
arms.
that
It's
is
the
better than
Italian thing.
face
I
planting the
spill.
floor.
I've spilled so many times. I have to keep my drinks over there. I still hit them sometimes, though, especially when my xenomorph falls over.
Oh no.
It's heavy-headed. It's okay.
Yeah, all of
You-
this started from talking about dolphins in
Yeah,
an
see,
educational
yeah,
setting.
I mean, don't dolphins always lead that way? No, the other one is what is it? You can't show obviously the assets
Mhm.
unless there's a baby sucking on them, which is my favorite rule of all time, because it literally means that you can't show anything unless a minor is sucking on them, which is the most bizarre rule. you
Was
could
that
possibly
why
write
there
into
was a
TOS.
fake baby meta for like a
I
day
didn't
and
know
a
there was
half?
fake. I didn't know there was a fake baby.
Some streamer had a
Oh.
fake
I suppose
baby.
It's easier than getting pregnant.
It takes less time.
Yeah. He's like, look, I'm gonna be meta in 9 months, but until then, I'm gonna like, I don't know how long people, I don't know how long babies do that for, but you have like a window, and then you need another one.
Kara,
So you have
have
to kind of prepare.
fun.
The queen.
I forgot I was just gonna say something, and
See,
then just
this is
stopped
one of
talking,
the
and I lost my
strangest
train of thought.
conversations we've had on the stream, but I know a lot about it.
Dude, I love it. I fucking love it.
Wicked's like, I don't know any of this.
No, I don't. But
I know
so
all the Twitch
started,
lore, the degeneracy,
I
the
don't know
different
the
metas,
Twitch lore. You
where
want to
it
know how
came
much?
from.
Sorry, Lucifer, you're gonna be in the Wicked queue, not the Dispa queue. One second. I started on Twitch too, but it's so funny because I didn't know what Twitch was, and a couple of my guy friends were like, "You're good at you like to actually play games. You're very good at talking and interacting with people. So you should go on Twitch."
I like
and I
that
was
you
like,
use the phrase
"Is that
a good egg.
like a?" I was
I
like, "Is
thought
that like a
that's a
corn
very
site?"
English term that I
didn't say
didn't
good
know
egg.
you used.
I didn't say good egg, did I?
Yeah, you did.
You
I
said you're a
did?
good egg.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant good at I meant to say good at.
Oh,
Good at,
you've
playing
disappointed me.
games.
You were
I'm saying I'm a good
incredibly
egg
English
at
for a very
games.
brief time.
I'm sorry, you're rubbing off. I mean, it's. I'm catching on to the English stuff, but I didn't know what Twitch was. It's like, is
Yeah,
that like a
rubbing off
corn
on me
site?
means something else over here as well.
And my friends are like, but we wouldn't have you doing something like that. I didn't, because to me, Twitch sounded like,
It's heavy. It's heavy.
we broke her already.
Yeah, this is where. I did a
17
stream
minutes.
with Savvy earlier. Now I'm doing a stream with Savvy. That's just hit me. Like, oh.
No,
Oh,
but just
man.
wait till the whiskey hits him. The filter is.
Oh,
even
I
less
already did.
than-
I've already called her Savvy once.
Oh,
just-
sorry, did. He's like, I'm already there.
That's
I'm
why I
English.
realized. I was like, no, it's Savvy.
It's
But,
okay.
yeah.
You know, I think salve, just because it's less, you're not filling in then with the Y. So salve is fine too. And you sort of over enunciate the A when you say it short like that. I don't know. If
He'll
that's
probably
less
mess up a couple
confusing.
times.
You could just say, hey, blondie, hey, dumbass. You could do that too. That's
Blondie.
fine.
I mean, at least you don't have like stealth eyebrows. There's a Overwatch.
I do.
started.
My
I
eyebrows
can-
are a lie.
Oh, yes, because I
Oh.
came into Twitch around like when Overwatch was kicking off,
Okay.
and so there was
Hold on,
Seagull,
Doberman.
and he's always like a blonde guy, and one of his memes is I just have stealth eyebrows. Nobody like he has eyebrows, but nobody can see them. They're like Metal Gear Solid eyebrows.
Isn't that what people were saying about Jeremy, though? That he doesn't have eyebrows when he does?
I don't know. I'd have to watch like a video.
Yes,
I've
Kara,
not noticed
please.
his eyebrows.
Ever since we talked about that, like I'll always just kind of look, and I'm like, yeah, he's got eyebrows today. It's fine.
Just,
Today.
like staring and
Like,
like,
sometimes he
what is
dyes
she
them.
doing? Just looking for the eyebrows. Give me a second.
I just thought it was the strangest thing. So now I just wonder how chat sees everyone, because obviously it's very different from how we see ourselves. So
Yeah, it's
I
true.
don't know, it's always
And lighting and everything. Disparu, sometimes the sun just comes up in his room out of nowhere. I don't know. What is it that
Yeah.
does that in your room?
Well,
It's just- you just
it's
lights up
if
for a
I
couple
look
minutes
away,
and
then sometimes the camera can be because it's on face detection. So if you look away, it
Ah,
focuses on something
yeah.
else, and then when you look back, sometimes it's bright.
like
a lot of the
gets
time it
really
doesn't
bright sometimes though.
Yeah. So I genuinely cut it out in videos, but sometimes I can't help it. It's just the take that I want. It's like
yeah.
what because I can see the in the camera the sort of I don't know what they're called. But it's like things that close over the lens. You can
The
you can
shutter?
see
Camera
the-
cover?
The shutter?
It's
Shutter
not a
sounds
camera
smart.
cutter. Yeah, there's like different things that close over the lens to block out light and stuff.
Oh,
I can
Oh.
see that in the lens, and then so I know that when that's closed, then it's getting really bright, and so I just stop.
Mm.
Oh, the chat's got it.
Apertures. Yeah.
See, I knew it was called changing the aperture, but I didn't know that the little things in the lens were called apertures.
I didn't want to say it because I was like, if I'm wrong, I'll look really dumb. If I'm smart,
Well, then
then
you just play it
awesome.
off as if you're talking about Half-Life. You're like, well,
Yeah.
aperture science, that'll work.
Okay. Sorry, Lucifer the Doberman. I think this was the super chat came like an hour before we started.
Well,
But thank you for the
probably
Canadian
put it on the screen
5.
earlier.
We were talking. It would have just been up there for 2 hours. Okay. It's crazy raining on Vancouver Island. I won't be able to hang out and chat, but Savvy and Wicked playing MTG or Magic the Gathering, Warhammer 40K would get a million subs.
I play
It's not-
Magic. You play
I mean,
Magic?
I have a funny Magic story. I have played it, but so my first job, I was there for like 12 years. It was a pizzeria and Magic, we called them Magic Geeks. They used to come in every Friday night from a comic book store and they would fill up the dining room and it was a big dining room.
Aw.
And so it was every Friday for like a lot of my life. And most of them were pretty nice, but some of them were just like very awkward and stinky. So we're like, they're dubbed the Magic Geeks now. But my boss made a lot of money because they sat there and played for like 5-6 hours and just kept ordering food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't played in a long time. I used to play with friends. It's been a minute. And Warhammer, I want to play that, but I'm waiting. I was supposed to play with this Brew and X-Ray, but she's just been so busy.
Mm.
You play Warhammer, Savvy?
The console game or like the actual?
Well, Wicked's talking about the latest game,
Yeah,
which I can't remember what it's called.
Space.
Oh, Space Marine?
Space Marine 2.
Yes, and like Space something. Yeah, that
Space
one.
Marine 2.
I don't have it. I have been too busy to sit down and play good games. I can sometimes be bullied into playing bad games for research purposes. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that too. I am playing one half good game, if you can call it a game. I don't know if you know what Love in Deep Space is.
That sounds familiar.
Okay, so this mobile game, I've already sold it off now as being the worst thing in the world. So it's a gacha game, and it has dethroned Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact in terms of monthly spending. Last month
Wait,
alone, it made
what?
$50 million. So it's an otome game. Otome games are basically just Japanese for 4 women or 4 girls. And basically, it is a dating sim of these 4 dudes. And the gacha component is you're collecting memories, which are actually like interactions and animations and stuff. But it's like an endless amount of written content and like fan fiction. The story's okay, but you're not really playing it too much for the story. It's just for the fact that you get to sort of touch and pet these fictional individuals.
Normally they mix the two though, because I knew the first one you saw, the Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah.
There was I forgot the other one.
Genshin.
The one, yeah, Genshin Impact was basically copying Zelda. Then you've got like stuff like Nikki, which was from the same
There you
developer.
go.
Like,
You said
Yeah,
it was
play
really
Nikkei
bold.
for the boobas. Yeah, so those are waifu collectors, right? And
Yeah.
so Chinese males especially dominate the
I do
gacha
have
industry.
Nikki.
Yeah, so they'll actually what they did was that they'll bully developers if they put male characters into the games, right? Like there was another
Yes,
game that
Nikki
had
is
to have
100
them.
Nikki is in the law.
Yeah.
We created bots to fight for the humans, which are just like perfect women. That's like in the law. And the thing is, it has an interesting story though, because it's like, well, what is human? Like, why would you care about the robots in the first place? So it kind of has a rather darker storyline than other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but
No, most of it
Jesus,
is just...
if there's boobs in it, then Phil was playing it.
no, so that was
Probably.
the thing. If that's what we were talking about on Saturday last week, then yes, it's the trailer that we watched because I had no idea what it was. I didn't know the name of it, but I had actually seen fan art of the characters from some of the Japanese artists that I follow, and I'm like, oh, I've seen that guy's dick before. Awesome.
I'm just surprised that anything beat them because they were
Yeah.
incredibly
Oh, so that was the
profitable.
whole point that I was getting on. So right. So normally the gacha market is dominated by Chinese men spending excess amount to get their waifus. This is the
And
first
Western.
time that a female targeted game, a dating sim specifically, because there's no like Genshin has gameplay. Genshin actually has really enjoyable gameplay. So does Honkai and some of the other ones, right? Like people actually
Honkai
enjoy.
is like the original Final Fantasy. That kind of
Yeah,
turn-based
yeah,
kind of
exactly,
thing.
exactly. But whereas this game is there is some form of gameplay. It's acceptable for a mobile game. It does look pretty, but you're playing it specifically for the dating sim element of it. So this is a game marketed to women, successfully marketed to women, making an asinine amount of money off of 4 dudes whose honestly their personalities are all the same basis of being aloof. But then it's like you have the aloof artist, the aloof bad boy, the aloof doctor, and then the aloof. I don't know what this other guy is. He's just he's just out there. He's
Anyone
stalling
who's high
24/7.
status with money.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't get. Yeah.
So it is fascinating to play through this. Like this game is not made for someone like me at all. I'm not a self-insert. I don't do this shit, but it's so good and so well done and so well written in the and like just the writing elements. I'm like, holy fuck, this made $50 million. This is insane.
That's the interesting thing, though. The other games like Nikki and everything is still a game.
Yeah.
It's just a game where the characters in it are attractive.
Yeah.
Whereas the way you describe this, the game is who cares?
Secondary.
Yes. And I think
very
you can
much
describe
so.
that with other female games like Candy Crush. Like
Yep,
most people
yep.
would look at Candy Crush and go, "Who, whatever." There's also, I think there was a game that did really well, which was kind of like you had to fix up a house and then just decorate a house, and then you decorate a new house. Those kind
That'll
of
get
games
the
do really
girls.
well. Yeah.
We'd like to
Well,
decorate.
this is why when any research study that goes women are 50% of gamers just includes mobile games, because I think women are probably the majority of mobile games.
When I think
That's how
Candy
they get
Crush, I
the
think of
50-50.
moms. Like
So
moms
they-
play Candy Crush.
Well,
They
yeah, but there's
make
Candy
up-
Crush and a load of others.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because they do dominate, obviously, the cozy games. They don't dominate the male ones because it's still dominated by Chinese men. But because of these Otome games, if they keep getting more and more popular, we're going to see that number skyrocket. And they'll rival the Chinese male demographic if they keep producing stuff like this. Because I kid you not, it's seriously the most fascinating thing to play through.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
that's what I want. I think if you want the target demographics of stuff, you have to focus on the
Yes.
person. And so you make something
100%.
specifically for that person. So if you make games for women and make games for men, that's what everybody wants. Because then everybody has something. The problem is like in Hollywood now, where they've taken male properties and converted them into female properties, and it just doesn't work. Because the women don't watch them because they're not interested in those things. And the men don't like it because it's got a value system which is opposite theirs. So separating them like that is the perfect thing that everyone wants.
I want to show, I seriously can't get over how genius this is. Like, this has women in mind down to a T. I'm actually loading it because, again, this is just such a fascinating case study in success in understanding your audience, which is something for some reason American AAA studios are so stupid at. It's going through the login screen now, and even the login screen is sexy.
But it's like Hollywood. They made Barbie, and it was like, okay, so you made something that was incredibly popular. It was like almost an entirely female audience that liked it. Never replicated it. It was like, no, we're gonna go back to making Superman now. Like, wait, what?
Ian, thank you for the 50 pounds. I feel like the stream will be hard for me to follow with terms like tabletop, waifu, and milk. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I mean, tabletop is at least like D&D. I'm sure you know that. Waifu
He probably
means
he
hot
might.
girl, and milk. Admit that's like vegetable for a Scottish person. It's very difficult for them to comprehend. Think of it like a chocolate bar, but good for you.
I turned you up a little bit. The chat's been saying you're kind of low, Disparu. Did you?
I actually don't know what on earth is wrong.
I turned you
okay,
up all the way.
You maxed me, yeah.
I did.
For some
I don't
reason,
hear any difference.
and I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
In this browser, I logged in to
Mhm.
the StreamYard specifically so I could make it dark mode.
Oh, yeah, I
don't know
forgot
how
that
to
was a
make
thing.
I still don't know how to make it dark mode. But ever since I've done that, my audio has been ridiculously low. This
Since
is
you put it in dark
exactly the
mode?
same setup I was on FNT before. And I don't know why it's different. I could use a different browser.
Dan's dressed. He usually takes
Nobody
a shower.
wants that, Dan.
He usually takes a
Yeah.
shower on Saturdays during Saucy.
Yes. You'd need to say, good evening, I'm in the shower, everybody.
In my other streams, he comes in and says, I'm not in the
Yes.
shower. But on Saturdays, on Saucy, he's in the shower. He wants to make
like,
all
we don't-
the chat
you-
go wild, you know?
The exact words the chat wants from you is, I'm dripping.
Okay, hopefully my dad doesn't call. So this is what you're greeted with right when you log in, right? So you got hot dude in the lobby. The music is I actually love the music. They did a good job. It's very warm, it's very aesthetic. Down here they have like your story, and then the words that they use are very specific. So the gotcha component that you're getting is called memories. And you power up the memories to make your sword or your gun stronger. Wow. And then next to that is battle, and then on the corner over here it says date. If you go over there, it gives you a bunch of really cutesy options. You can see how right
Even
down.
Nikki and everything doesn't have anything like that. They don't have the date option.
Yeah, so within the date ones, there's the photo studio, there's the falling for you, there's anecdotes, by your side, and playtime. I haven't unlocked playtime yet. But so if I go to by your side, it pulls up all the characters, and then you pick different interactive stories to go through. And then it comes here to the point of view one where you're laying with him on a pillow. And then
And let me guess, it's all you're the center of attention. He's completely playing complete control. Yeah.
You're special. You can save me. You understand me. Oh, I left you randomly while we were younger, and now we've just mysteriously come back together. Oh.
Oh, please just make me the center of your world. And then it's like,
oh, here you go. He cleared it up, chat. He showered
nobody
earlier.
wants you to shower. No. You can't shower early in the day. You have to shower during the stream. That's what chat wants. Chat wants to know that you're in the shower right now.
You have to take another one, Dan. It's Saturday. Come on.
It's your only option. Chat will shower you in filth otherwise, and then you'll need one.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, let me catch up on some of these super chats. We'll just Bruce taking a sip. Captain Nova's been a member for 6 months.
I can talk now.
Time for I can talk. Time for Insavity. I like that. Insavity. That's cute. Thank you, Captain Nova, for being a member for 6 months.
I turned up my mic. I turned up my mic decibel volume. If I start peaking, you'll have to let me know.
It does sound a little bit louder, but it's not like super noticeable. Like it's almost like the bass is louder.
That was just up 5 decibel.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about peaking than anything else, but I can turn it up more.
Well, don't go squealing. No squeals.
No, I mean, if it sounds like I'm peaking, then I don't know why it's so. It's got to be something to do with this browser.
Mike wants to install the game, Savvy.
Love in deep space.
Yes.
There you go.
He wants to see the voice actors dangly bits.
Oh, do not listen to it in English. Holy shit. That was like gun to your head levels of like, oh, fuck. But the Japanese voices, oh.
You don't know what the Japanese voices are saying, though.
I don't need to know.
I think the men need to know. Like, she could be horrific. It does actually matter what you say. Like,
it does.
A guy only has 2 options, right? He can either tune you out.
You peaked a little bit there. Did you hear that?
Or you need to know what you're saying.
It got a little like.
Yeah.
There's
too much passion in needing to know.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm surprised anybody can't hear it. Oh.
Like I say, if I increase my volume, it does peak. So I don't know why it's so low.
I mean, can you guys hear him? It might
it's not yelling. It's not yelling. The volume is fine.
Yell.
For some reason, StreamYard does not take the actual volume of whatever you put in. I don't know.
Okay. Mongoose, thank you for 1 year today. Thank you, Mongoose. So how many Savvy rants? Well, see, I've had 3 sips. I'm already done. How many Savvy rants will we get today? I think we've gotten maybe like 2 and a half.
Oh, those
so
aren't
far,
rants.
So,
that's just educational.
Yes.
Well, we're not there yet. We'll let you know. Llama pajamas. I love that. For 2. Savvy, how are your feet? Asking for Dan Vass. Well, Dan's here.
They're not broken.
That's good. Dan he likes feet.
Yes, he does. It's my fault.
I came into
it's
the
so
chat
weird,
once
though.
when you were on
I just don't know why.
Talking about that's
the one thing I don't understand. Like,
what?
For me, I don't really care if my feet exist or not. If I could walk without feet, I really wouldn't care at all. I just don't understand what the attraction... Is it literally just that in modernity, literally everything else, you can see it, and feet are the only things that people
like
cover
what they
up.
like.
No,
so
it
can't be explained.
You're pretty innocent, though.
Most things which are kind of erotic are because you cover them up. Like, if every woman covered up her left hand within a generation, that would suddenly be, oh my god, I can't believe she.
Well, that's what the old stuff used to be. When women would remove gloves, that was actually considered erotic.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So I can only assume that because basically now you can see anything whenever you want, that feet in shoes and socks are basically it's the last thing that people actually cover up.
So so not 100%. That is like that in some cases, but for a lot of people, part of it is power and being degraded. Yes. So there is a bit of a power play with feet because the idea is that an individual is stepping on you, like that kind of thing. They typically go hand in hand, but foot worship.
I've seen Twitch people step on people in cons, and I don't. Again, I mean,
Now that's going hand in hand with a humiliation thing. So a lot of times you're not
but I
going to
don't
have
know-
somebody just be into feet.
I don't
There's
think
always
that's
a
about the
secondary.
feet, right? Though that's about the domination thing, not the feet
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Well, so it depends. Some of them go hand
Because-
in hand.
I remember an FNT episode where X-Ray Girl, for some reason, and I don't know why, everyone could have seen how it played out, but she was in front of everybody, and she kept sprawling her feet out in front of the camera, and so
Oh,
the chat
no.
went wild. It lives in infamy in FNT history.
Oh no.
And I just like that's not a domination. That is literally I can see
Yeah.
a
So
feet thing.
it was just foot worship at that point. There is well, that's what it's
It's a
called.
thing.
What a term.
That's what it's called. So I mean, look, anatomically speaking, if you have nice feet, there is such a thing, and you can appreciate it. I kind of sort of get it, but I did have
I
two
don't understand.
instances. I accidentally created foot fetish guys, and so I have
I
done.
don't think you created it. I don't think it was you specifically. It's been around for a few
that
decades
was their
at
first
least.
interaction with it, so I apologize to women in the future who were asked about it. But it's when I asked what it was exactly about my feet that I
Yes,
the reason why
yes.
Dan
He
Vasquez
just
was
popped out of
asking
me.
about
I was
feet.
like, whoa.
Oh,
Like, I imagine Dan Vasquez was actually like born with like a full like head of hair.
stained
So
glass
as
of
he's
Sammy
coming out of the
in her
womb,
foot.
like his hair is trailing him, and they're just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this is continuing." They're like pulling it out.
Oh no.
Man, but yeah, no, he just when I asked him what it was about the feet, he said it was one, a different experience, and two, that there was just something attractive about the way that the toes could curl. That was
I genuinely think
Did
it's
Dan
because
say
they
that?
no,
don't
I
see enough
no,
feet.
no.
I genuinely think it's because everybody covers their feet, and so it makes it unusual. I think that's all it is.
I mean, I think they both
do
can
some more
be
research.
true. Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Oh my
know.
goodness. Well,
Like people used to like ankles. It was a shape.
Oh, I like ankles. A good ankle? Are you kidding me? Whew. That's a
Nice
nice.
strong
No,
ankle?
nobody likes ankles that much. It's
you
like,
don't know if
"Whoa,
it's true.
have you
Just
seen
how
the
long have
ankles
you been
on
the
that?
internet? How long have you been on the internet? Does anything surprise you? Come on.
All right, here I'll give you the one body part actually that doesn't. It sort of makes sense, but also doesn't. I like stomachs, not abs, not like the actual like a nice.
No, that,
I'm not
that
talking
makes
about
sense
that.
though.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
I just
because-
like to make mush on a tummy.
Okay, that's particularly cat-like description. But
Yeah,
I know I can understand the stomach
That's what I
simply
like
because
to do.
a flat stomach means that the rest of them is fit as well. Like you don't have
Well,
a
one would
flat
hope.
stomach unless there's some kind of range
But
of
that's not what I'm
healthiness
talking
there.
about.
Yeah, but
My
most-
tummy
most of
tummy
this-
worship just comes from liking tummies.
Yeah, but most of this stuff is generally like a symbol for other stuff. So
Yes.
like flat stomach means health.
Yeah.
So it's why women like in
Strong thighs.
comedians. What?
Oh.
Well, strong.
Two different
No, well-
things. Strong thighs, comedians, same thing.
No, I didn't. No, I said strong guys, not strong thighs.
No, I said
Oh.
strong thighs.
Well, I thought you said strong guys. Because strong guys would be like protection, but comedians, comedy is linked to intelligence, which is linked to doing well and being successful and resources. So all of that's linked. You can see where it is. So like a flat stomach would also be health, which would be good genetics, which would be, isn't a lazy, eats everything, doesn't do any work kind of stuff. So you can understand where the flat stomach comes from. It's weirder when it's the other way around. Like, I don't know what feet link to. Except the fact that they're covered up.
I would
I
say
do think that's the core of it, because I think for blokes there is basically exclusivity for basically anything is where the value comes from. And so if she covers it up for everyone else but shows it to you, that's where the exclusivity comes in. That's
too.
what gives it value.
I think I know what it is. So back with I remember with the Asian cultures, they used to smush feet,
Yes,
right? So
yes,
small
yeah.
feet would be a
Mhm.
sign of youth and smooth feet would be a sign of taking care of yourself, being more
they
homely,
bind
not
them.
out in the field, and the good hygiene. So I think maybe that's probably where that links to.
I'm not for sure for us. I could understand like Japan and stuff, but not.
Yeah,
for us.
yeah. I'm just trying to think of other points in history where feet were a point of culture.
I learned that Wiki feet existed because of It's a Gundam.
Every
I
time
never
you say
needed to
that,
know
I
that
feel like
site
you're gonna say
existed.
wicked feet. And I'm like, what? I never showed my feet.
No,
before. Every
It's a
time you say
Gundam
that,
went
I
on
think you're
FNT and
gonna
started
say
talking about Wiki feet. I'm like, I didn't know this thing existed. I never needed to. I don't want to. But the fact that there's basically a database of people's feet means there's a lot of dedicated
Well, there's like
people.
there's only feets or whatever, only foot or
I
whatever.
didn't
the
know
heck
about
it's
that
called.
either.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's entire sites. If you go on Instagram and you market yourself as a foot person, you'll get DMs from all these sugar daddies. It's fucking crazy. The one that I'm still trying
I
to
don't think they'd be interested in
understand.
my feet.
You'd be surprised. There is a big market for man feet. No, the one I can't
do
understand
remember-
is armpits.
You probably don't know.
Yeah, that's
Oh
fine.
well, I've got a story about that.
Oh,
people
Linus
like your
Tech Tips. It's not a personal story, but Linus Tech Tips did an April Fool's where they did like an only Linus kind of thing. They're a tech channel, right? So they do computer reviews, hard drive reviews, that kind of stuff. But for an April Fool's, they always do something really out there. So they said, well, revenue's down this year. We're going to do a sort of only Linus.
he's the Mac nerdy
show.
dude, right? He's the Mac looking. Back when they had the Mac advertisements, the nerdy looking skinny guy. Linus is the skinny
He
dude with
looks
blonde
like
hair.
a very tech person. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I'm
Okay,
picturing the right
But
person.
the issue was, they started this as a joke, but they made the site and everything. But they made so much money from it. He said it became a not insignificant part of their revenue stream, and so they had to close it down because people were like, "Will you show me your feet?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll show my feet. I don't care about my feet. Why would I care about my feet, right?" So he's just taking photographs of his feet for a lot of money, and he's like, "Actually, this is becoming a large stake of my business."
Dude, gay men
I
and
need to
women
stop.
will pay so much fucking money for that shit. I'm not kidding. Like, it is an untapped market for men and feet. I'm trying to tell Dan there's a market for him. Look, I'll be a foot pimp. I know how all this shit works.
She will help you, Dan.
Well, that's what got me. I can't remember what story I was going to tell before. You have to remind me of what on earth I was talking about.
I don't know.
I don't know either. If chat reminds me, then I can tell the story, but I can't remember what the story. I can't even remember what topic it was about.
We've been all over the
Armpits?
place so far.
Yeah. No, this is the street. When we were like, because I think I messaged you and something like, yeah, we kind of try and get to a topic, but we don't really have a topic. This is the kind of
do.
stream.
We'll get there eventually. But while this
Yeah.
thinks about what
Wicked
he
at
was
some
going to
point
talk
will
about,
herd the cats. That's what
I will.
happens. Wicked gets annoyed that
I don't
the
get
topic
annoyed.
hasn't happened yet, and she'll make it happen.
Is the topic
No.
in the room with us right
No,
now?
that's the thing. Like, I see feet the way other people see ASMR because I understand ASMR.
Yeah. Well, I don't even really understand that. Like, I
Yeah,
do
but
on
ASMR
on
is like a
technical level,
biological reaction, right? So
Yeah.
it's an audio cue. It either happens to you or it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. I
and
get
then there's
that,
some
but
cues that work and some cues that don't. So I imagine it's the same kind of thing.
yeah. Well, I feel like I've learned to appreciate things. Like, I collect.
I don't think I
interest,
could
like
learn to
Pokemon.
appreciate feet. It's like
I have learned to appreciate feet. It's a very strange
you-
thing. I'll admit it. But I don't understand the armpit thing. That I can't understand.
Oh no! Okay, no. That's
what it
what
was.
reminded me. Yeah.
There you go.
There was Graham Norton, right? There's a TV show over here. He does interviews with loads of Hollywood
I know
celebrities
who
and
that
everything
is.
else. Yeah. But back when he was on Channel 4, before he went over to a different channel, he was a bit wilder. He could say whatever he wanted before he moved. And there was a guy. This was back in the early days of the internet. And he found a guy that was into runny noses.
Boogers?
I've
Well,
seen
runny
that.
noses, like literally, like
But
you've got a
that's
cold.
boogers.
It's all run. Well, no, because they're like. I'm not gonna like give
It was
definitions for you
sneezing,
here.
right? He liked sneezing.
There was some of it was sneezing. Some of
Yeah.
it was just the general runniness.
Oh, on
Yeah.
himself?
And he made an entire website. So this is back in the early days of the internet. Google was still small, that kind of thing. And everyone had kind of self-hosted things. And he interviewed the guy. He was like, "Why'd you like it?" He's like, "I don't know. I just always did." It's like, so the great thing about the internet, right, is anything that you like, you can find the 5 other people in the universe that like that thing. So he asked the immortal question: through this website, have you found anyone else that likes what you like? No. No. He found the one
The
guy
only one.
who was so out there, nobody else agreed with him. And people like feet. You can have fart tequila. What you can't have is a runny nose website.
Farts.
It doesn't
So,
work.
yeah, I know sneezing. Sneezing has become it's becoming popular because it's part of the caretaker
Oh, well,
role.
I know there's
No,
15
I
people
remember
now.
watching. I think it was PewDiePie did a video watching like you guys clipped me sneezing, and then he's like, "Wait, did you make one of Marzia? You perverts! You better not have made one of Marzia." And he looks and there's like a 2-minute video of Marzia sneezing. And he was like,
There are some Twitch
How dare
streamers where
you.
if you go on their clip channels, it's just like them walking away. That's all
yeah.
their clips are.
Yeah. That one's
Yeah.
you know the type of streamer that they are then.
Yeah. To be fair, you probably know beforehand, but yeah.
Oh,
"Okay,
man.
I'm gonna get to a couple super chats and then we'll get to a topic. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Yeah, do it." Okay, Jim Watari?
Watari. There's no
Okay,
second T.
I don't know why I had to think about that so hard. It's very easy. But
You've had
thank you
3
so
sips.
much
She's out of it.
for thank you for gifting 10 memberships.
Saucy.
Save the clips for when Savvy gets back so she can see Sass Brew. MTB Steve,
Hey, look.
thank you for the
Hey,
5.
after X-Wing's reactions, nobody knows how anyone's gonna react. It's like, oh no, I need to rip my headphones off. He said a
Thank you for
word.
the 5. Welcome to Saucy Savvy Saturday. Let's go. Thank you. I'll save this one for when she gets back. It's a shout out to Savvy. Max, thank you for the 5. Hey, Squirrel Boy. I'll save that one too. Hold on.
I'm assuming that's me. Otherwise, this is
Squirrel
gonna be
boy.
really awkward.
I'll bring this back up for Savvy. Manja Midget and Madame Bushy. I know where Disru's name is from, but what about the ladies? I don't remember. Someone called me a pasta midget or something. I don't remember what the name was. But Manja
No, you can't get away. You can't
like a
come up with the
spaghetti
name
midget.
of wicked virtue from someone calling you a pasta midget.
no,
Those
no.
are not the same name.
I'm sorry. You mean like Wicked Virtue? That actually isn't like a deep story. My friend came up with it. And I liked it. That's really it.
Someone called me a pasta midget.
Oh, no,
I'm
'cause he said
sorry.
Manja
I
midget.
would have been calling you a pasta midget had I thought about it.
No, I thought he was talking about because somebody I forgot who it was in the chat. Who
What?
told me
What
like
name are you thinking? Where are you called pasta midgets? That's what I need
somebody
to
said
know.
that in chat before, but you mean
does
like
that
Wicked
mean?
Virtue? I don't know, but I thought it was funny because I'm Italian and short. I don't know. Pasta midget.
That's exactly why.
But yeah, Wicked
That's
Virtue.
why I
My
would've been
friend came up
calling you
with
it.
it. Actually, when I started on Twitch, and I was like, I like how that sounds. That's cool. I'm gonna
You
use
should have been
it.
called
That was
Pasta
it.
Midget. Pasta Midget is such a better name.
And then call you
just-
Pasta Chan.
Oh
it's
my
like, yeah,
goodness.
so you follow me over my channel on Pasta Midget. It's like, wait, what?
My goodness. Well, where did your name come from, Savvy? Max would like to know.
So Savvy comes from Savvy Starfruit, and originally I was supposed to start my Twitch channel with a friend, and then we were both going to have our individual names, and it was going to be the brand, and then she bailed after the first 2 weeks or whatever. And so I stuck with it because I sunk the last of my college money into the computer. I didn't even have a monitor. I'd actually fished out a TV from the dumpster.
Oh,
So I was like, fuck it, we ball now. And then eventually I shortened it down from Savvy Starfruit just to Savvy because everybody started calling me Sav. So
the
it's
guy
not deep.
the guy where my lights came
Wait a
from, he had a
second.
similar thing. He got like an investor and stuff. I don't know how. I think it's because his father is probably like I think it's an American senator or something. So he had contacts. But yeah, he managed to invest in this guy that was going to start like a group streaming YouTube thing. And nobody else wanted to do the work, so it was just him. And I think they said that whenever he wanted them to do work, they would bitch about it to the investor. And so he came back with a bad idea of that guy. So he just wanted the money back, and he wanted all the computers and everything back. So this guy basically came up with, I'm just going to teach people how to do branding, essentially, on YouTube and Twitch. And he was successful, and all the others failed. But there was the whole time where the investor got kicked off and everything. It's an interesting story.
it is. Mine's kind of boring, but that's better. Javi, nobody the hate Monger for 199. Shout out to Thick Girl.
Look, you were
Savvy.
called Pasta Midget. That's not boring. That's the best name I've ever
Well,
heard.
I
wish I
the
want to be
chat
called
came up with
Pasta
that.
Midget.
I don't even think that's exactly what it was. It was something like that. But
No,
maybe
it
I'll
should
change
have
my
been.
food channel to
I'm a-
Pasta Midget.
I want to be called Pasta Midget.
Incoming
That's
rebrand.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I am always going to call you Pasta Midget from now on.
You need a
Okay.
VTuber model, but it's just a piece of linguine or whatever, and it just
Yeah.
sways around.
That would be
It's like,
funny.
This is what I wish I was. This little tiny. This is
I just
want to
be a Pasta Midget.
Yeah, you're like a pasta minion.
There you go. Ian will call you Pasta Midget.
Thank you. You can always rely on the Scottish.
Vimaran, thank you for the 10. Hello, crew. Happy to see Savvy finally here, where she belongs. We could have you done your first Haunted by Daylight tome page. The event is pretty fun, unless everyone gets slugged. So I started playing it, but it's not the Halloween event. What? I don't know. You have to. I guess you have to activate it or something. So I haven't played that much, but I'm gonna play it again. I got an outfit for Sable, a Halloween outfit. So I'm kind of excited to like really get into it. It's Dead by Daylight. If anyone's like curious what we're talking about,
I've no idea what Sable is.
Sable's a character in it.
Oh.
She's a witch. I like her. She's pretty cool. But I'm
Oh,
I'm
like
glad
Agatha.
that you said don't put her next to Agatha. She's way
Hey,
better than Agatha. She's actually pretty. Okay, don't.
That might be the best segue I've ever done.
We will. Is that what you want to start with? I was going to start.
No,
with that,
no,
the
nobody wants to
game.
talk about Agatha.
No,
It was a great
no,
segue.
but we're not doing it still.
No, it's not one of the best ones in the world. No, I think the best
It's
segue
pretty
I've
good.
ever heard was from Brett. Is it Brett Cooper? Who works for Daily Wire. She
Yeah.
did something, and I think her exact line, her line was something along the lines of, "Yeah, so everyone's like this nowadays, but I really think that your body count should be kept personal and private." Like this VPN. And it was like, wait, that is the best segue I've ever heard in my life.
amazing.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
16-bit mascot. Thank you for the 350. Hey there, Wicked Disprue and Savvy. Mick liking it. Thank you, 16-bit. And
I thought
Mark,
that said
thank you.
McLicken.
He's not quite
It did say
McLovin
Mick-
it yet. He's just
it-
McLiking in it.
Did it say McLicken or McLicken?
No, you were correct. I just read it
Oh.
as McLicken.
Well-
did I read it wrong? Because I do that a lot.
Well,
Thank you.
maybe you read it right.
Maybe I did. Mark, thank you for the 50. Happy Saturday, peeps. Savvy seems to fit in well here. She's a girl, but she's the one who brought flatulence into the discussion.
Specifically about tequila.
I mean, it's
you could have
Saucy
chosen
Saturday.
any
so-
alcohol and you chose tequila.
I don't know, man.
You
Tequila
don't-
tastes like
It's
farts
like-
to me, I guess.
I don't know whether you could make fart whiskey. I think whiskey has to come from potatoes in
There's
some way.
a re-
So
like
even if
a-
it's you eating the potatoes, no, or is potato?
I
No,
love
potatoes is
potatoes.
vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's whiskey then?
Mexican.
We're all
I don't-
stupid.
I don't know.
Isn't
I
it
don't know
just
what makes
different
whiskey.
grains? It's different grains, I thought. Are
I
we?
have no idea.
Barley? Is it barley?
Yeah.
Grain?
Oh yeah, because you have like rye whiskeys and stuff.
It's made from grains, water, and yeast. Yeah, there was like
Right,
almost
okay.
a trick question. You can mix different types of grains. God, we're all stupid. It's
God,
fine.
it's
It's
a
okay.
yeah,
I
it's a
always say that
universal thing.
I'm half
This is why
retarded.
yeast.
It's okay.
This is why yeast is such a better product because it can make a whole range of things. You can come up with your own brand, whereas the fart thing, it's like I can come up with just 2 bottles.
I think you should read the super chat, Disprue, because it'll sound nice in British.
Sucky D's nuts for $1.99. My oh my, Madam Savvy. So see, XE. It
I
sounds
see
rather
an X.
Japanese.
I see an XY there. Would you like to talk about Pokemon X and Y genuinely?
That was the perfect. I'm trying to get around the YouTube filter super chat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new one, Disprue. Maz is missing Down syndrome corgi for $20.
I don't.
Here's the super sticker.
There isn't anybody in the
There are
world
glasses
that
on
thinks
the-
Martha
the
is missing
avatar?
Down syndrome, but like
There
saying that
is.
all his pets are also. Well, that's a new one.
He lost his shoes, so I mean, it's not surprising. if
What
he
has that
loses
got
a
to
dog.
do with his pets?
I mean,
It's
if you
like-
can lose your shoes, it's probably easy to lose
It's
as
like-
a pet, is all I'm saying.
the pets also have to be like below 40 IQ to be able to withstand his company. Is that where you're going?
Yeah. We'll go. Sure.
Like the only people that can like survive his company are people with an extra chromosome, even
Oh,
dogs.
jeez. Thank you for the gifted membership, Jesus. And mates, Dave. $10.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Where did the bush thing come from?
I think we're gonna have to get that.
I genuinely don't know the lore about the bush.
It's not even exciting. It's the dumbest story. We were all just talking on Tuesday Night Main Event, and I don't even think that anyone was talking to me. I don't even think it was about me. And Jay just comes in
You
and
started
goes,
talking about your own bush? Oh.
no,
Jay,
nobody
right.
said anything. It was completely irrelevant. We weren't even talking about feet or anything dirty. And he just
Oh,
goes,
well, I mean, we
doesn't
weren't talking about
Savvy
feet.
like not talk? Doesn't Savvy not shave her bush or something? And everyone's like,
Wait,
"Jay,
what?
what the fuck?" Because it just came out of nowhere. And I'm just like,
It must knowing how he must have
genuinely
heard
came
something.
out of nowhere.
There's no way Jay just like flipped to that.
He did.
knowing
He
Jay.
mistook the
Do you
bush
even know
thing for
him?
feet, or the feet for bush or something.
He's a walking meme. What do you think goes
Yes.
on in there?
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
but there's
I
generally
fucking loved
something
it.
that starts like the thought process, and even if he's been thinking about it for a while, and then he's like, "No, I'm gonna say it anyway." Like I could understand, but not out of nowhere.
It was genuinely out of nowhere. The bush
That
thing
makes sense.
was the only thing I'd been made fun of at that point was my feet. Because I had said, because the whole feet thing started with Dan, because I mentioned that my feet are Egyptian, which is, genealogically the most perfect type of foot that you can have because it has a polite slope. And then that started the fascination for
it
Dan
can
of like,
build
well, what does that
pyramids.
mean?
Yeah, that was on Bro Science, and I remember in the chat I was like, everyone's looking at their feet now, and Beardo pulled my chat up because I was actually looking at my foot. And I'm like, hey, I got the Egyptian foot too.
Yeah, I brought that up. So yeah, see,
Yeah,
we have
were-
perfect feet. And then Jay made the bush thing, and then
And
on
ruined
There's
side,
a joke. I'm not sure I can say the joke.
and then on side scrollers, I was so tired, but I just made an offhanded remark about a woman with big boobs, and then I said I used to have big honkers. So now if you see anything flat chested related, everybody says I screwed up the timeline by Ellen paging myself
Oh
because I
my
used to have double
God.
D's.
Listen, they cause back problems, guys. Give her a break.
They do.
They
I got
do,
rid of
though.
them because I didn't want that.
They do. Disbrew, I feel like you should read this in
feel
your
like that's
dramatic
sacrilegious.
reading voice. Can you read this in your dramatic reading voice?
I'm too distraught about the effect of sapping
wanna
away
say
double
it.
D's. Like it's like, oh no,
Hold on,
I
you just
nobody
not
cares about the state of your
the
back, all right?
testosterone
That's the
around.
problem. That's the problem.
They do cause
It's not.
back
It's not
problems,
even
though.
Savvy I feel sorry for. It's you're married, right, Savvy? It's him I feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Like it would unironically be like if every day he woke up and goes, I do miss him. Like you could understand it. You'd be like, well, like it would not be unreasonable for him to go, I remember how you used to be. Like every day.
So he didn't know me with the big boobs. This was 10 years
That's
ago.
even
but-
worse.
no, so he saw the
you
old
found one
pictures.
of the good ones. You found one of the good, and you could have rewarded him. You could have rewarded him with
I know.
perfection.
When
And
I
you were
got
like,
rid
no,
of them, I didn't think
care
I'd
about
ever
more
get
about
married.
me than you. Like that's like no. He would have taken you anyway, but you could have rewarded him with like
I'll read this
the
because
superior
Disbrew,
being. I'll read it.
he's too
I'm
flustered
too
right now.
busy
He's
shaming
bothered.
Savvy.
Okay, go ahead. We need the
The
Joker.
husband's
the
like,
Joker
yeah,
from
he
the
would.
Joker.
He's like, I would. Those
Hold
would
on,
have been
he's
the
gotta finish this
days.
thought first.
Exactly. Like Wicked just randomly talking over me. It's like, no, I won't let you. I am here speaking up for her husband.
When he first discovered that, though, he would start sliding me extra mashed potatoes
Based.
and extra
Based.
cheeseburgers.
Based. Yeah, he's like, imagine what I could have had.
He's
This
like, I
would have
love you,
been
babe, but
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
I just want to see. Can we get it back?
It's
Oh.
like, look, when on like a game show where the like bid higher or lower and you get the kind of thing, it's like, well, this is what you could have won. That's the kind of thing. It's like, imagine what you could have had. It's like,
You
yeah,
would have picked
you
door
are
number
happy what you had, but imagine.
all because I liked parkour a little too much.
Oh, that's the worst reason. Yeah, you just want to jump off a roof. Imagine. It's like, oh, well, I could be gorgeous, like stunning, or I could jump off a roof.
I was
Oh,
It's
no.
like,
Right,
actually,
George.
I'd quite like to.
Somebody-
Look, no, this makes Wicked's comment even worse because you're like, well, it'll save your back. Parkour won't. Parkour will break your freaking back. That's the worst thing you can do.
I got nothing. I can't disagree with that.
But
I'll ruin the
M85, I feel like I'm shame having M566 for $10.
Look, getting rid of my tits led to Harambe dying. I'm sorry, okay?
Based. You are the reason that Ubisoft is crap.
That was
now.
the finger
that's how it
snap.
works.
That was the
Imagine,
finger
like,
snap. Her boobs.
It was like the gravitational pull would have affected the brainwaves of the Ubisoft developers. I was reading that.
I'm
You
gonna
can't swap
stop
it
it.
out.
Hold on. Sammy's bobs were the timeline anger bobs. Our timeline will now die.
Yes.
Sorry, that was
Fully.
funny, and I wanted to pull it up. All right, dramatic monologue time. Go ahead, Disru. I know you're very worked up, so take a couple breaths if you need to.
Day 50 in Savi's bush. The crab people have accepted me into their village. It's nice to experience real-world shelter. I can scarcely remember what life was like in the outside world. I suppose that's all you got. Damn! That's really all you've got
We
left.
scary
It's like
Dan. It's a scary Dan.
I'm dodging a really fine line of when Savvy stops laughing. It's the kind of a line I'm trying to go for.
I'm
She just
sorry.
leaves, and she's like, "I will never speak to Disru again."
It's like
No,
I
this
don't.
is fucking hilarious.
I don't want to dodge the line where it turns from I'm laughing to no, you're bullying me now.
Oh, no. You can't bully me. That is literally impossible. You will never outdo my father.
You're good.
I'm not sure that helps. That sounds worse, actually. No, it doesn't matter how much like you punish me. Like, no, you should have seen that guy. Like, you will never traumatize me as much as this guy over here. It's not like a compliment.
Like what?
It's like you think everything's happy and we're all friends. It's like, yeah, you remind me of my dad. Oh,
Yo,
it's like, oh no,
isn't real.
That's
Just
not
get
what we're
over
aiming
it, bro.
for.
Like, what the fuck?
yeah, seriously. Like, don't worry, you can never be as bad as him.
Oh my god.
I feel
No,
like
so
I'm
this was
actually
my dad. I do have to share. So when I was younger, I was a dumb fuck and I fell out of a tree and I ripped open my arm. But of course, my dad
Oh.
was the only one home at the time. And so I go inside and I'm crying and I'm like, Dad, I can, I can touch my ligaments and shit, but I didn't know the word obviously because I'm a child. And he looks at it, he pokes it. I go, ow, and he goes, quit crying like a little gamer word, and then sends me
Nice.
back outside with a band-aid.
Oh,
Based.
That's why I am the way I am.
That's hey.
that's such a like. I mean, usually dads would be a little more like, "Oh my god," but that's
Well,
like a
fuck
guy
no.
thing to do. Like my brother had to get stitches once. Well, he should have gotten stitches, and he just used super glue.
So my
Based.
dad took me to the doctor.
No, you do realize super glue was invented as a military thing, right? It was designed to
It's
seal
in med
wounds.
kits. It was in old med kits. In
No, it was
Okay.
literally what it was designed for, and
Yeah.
it was.
It's so funny.
Which-
My mom was
this
so
is
mad
why
when she
it-
got home. She's like, "We got to the
This is-
hospital." He put
This is
glue in
why
your
super
gut.
glue sticks your fingers together better than anything else. It was literally
It sure
designed to seal
does.
wounds. So
Yeah.
I've done that a lot.
I only know that from Dog Soldiers. The thing that told me that maybe turning werewolf is a bit like taking a piss, or maybe it isn't. And like, you can either hold it, or maybe you just need to go right there.
Oh.
Dog Soldiers is an incredible film.
Hmm.
Very, very cheap British film, but it's great.
I love, dude, cheap film has quickly become my favorite. I'm so over this like
Well-
big budget shit.
Cheap British films is basically all British people had back then.
Yeah.
It was like all indie stuff, and so you only had really kind of unusual, like gangster films and stuff. So you had like the layer cake where Bond came from.
Hmm.
Then you had stuff like Dog Soldiers, which was just kind of there's a load of guys in a forest and a house, so it was a really small budget. We're gonna just use a bit of animatronic kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But
Have you
that's why
guys- I
there was a
was
lot of
gonna-
British gangster films. But they all
I was
done really
gonna
well.
bring up a movie. It's still a good movie, but I'm actually shocked at the budget because of it, the way it was filmed. The Lighthouse. You guys know that one? It's like I guess you could a psychological horror kind of. It has William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. It's
Yeah.
just them, and it's in black and white. It's supposed to take place in 1850, and it's just them, and they're like stranded on this island with a lighthouse. It's
I've
it's
seen
actually
that.
it's very Alfred Hitchcock. But
Why
the
have I
budget was
seen that?
11 million, and I'm shocked
I mean,
by
I'm not
that
surprised. It's black
because
and
they
white.
shot it at
They
one.
probably
it was
used
black.
cameras from the 50s.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I don't know, but I'm shocked by that because it was just them, and they shot it in one place. 11 million.
In
That's
the
a
lighthouse,
lot.
presumably.
Well, yeah, on a little
Well, how
island.
much is Willem Dafoe though worth? You know?
10 million went
Yeah.
to him. And then,
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That's true.
There's
Yeah.
actually, and I know they exist over here, so I'm assuming Americans have the same thing. There's a class of celebrity where people kind of know who you are, but you're also really cheap because you were famous for doing that one thing over there. So you don't have a
Yeah.
long-term career, and so they kind of just do adverts or independent movies and that kind of thing.
I think not in terms of directors or things like that, but actor. The one that comes to mind is actually Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was in a few big ones, but he prefers indie and small budget, and then he moved
Robert
on to like
Pattinson was in it. Sorry.
I
Oh,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah, but yeah. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is somebody I think of in that description.
Yeah, he does do a lot of that. That you're right.
Yeah, he
I like
started his
him.
own like indie like website thing, hit record. It was really
Mm.
cute, but he
I-
was super involved with like the fans and stuff and people who came over. Like he was super accessible and he just wanted everybody to be creative.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
like that. That's very
No,
rare.
he's such a good, wholesome dude. Like talk about somebody who just loves creating.
We need more of
Yeah,
that.
but those things don't really work anymore because, like,
No.
if you love it, like, you're kind of doing things for just the good of doing things, which is
Mhm.
kind of it's mainly a male thing, and that's not what works. Well, it's not what Hollywood allows at the moment.
Right.
Hollywood has kind of switched away from that, so now everything's massive budget. It's anti-male, which means you can't do the hero story, the hero's journey anymore. And so I don't think you can experiment when you have all these tick boxes.
Yeah.
Like there's only a thing that lists like one kind of story that fits in those tick boxes, and you come back with a question, well, what if the audience doesn't like that? If they don't like that, every single thing you do is broken. And so your only option is to throw that out entirely and get back to
Creativity.
Well, it's
That's
not
why I
even
like-
creativity, right? Because the hero's journey isn't exactly creativity. It's set in stone what
Yeah.
it is, but you can do any story as long as you hit those things. So you have basically a template for success, and then you have creativity on the side. Whereas what you have now is everybody has to do this thing, and you like it or you don't. And it turns out the audience doesn't. So I
Mhm.
don't think it will improve. And I
No.
actually don't think they can improve until they leave
They
the
gotta
kind of
clean
current
house.
moral paradigm. Well, I think they have to fire the current people because they're of a different moral paradigm. But I think that they literally can only tell this story because that's what they believe. You basically hired a load of NPCs that believe the current ideology word for word and aren't creative because they've just believed what they've been given. And so they kind of... It's the kind of thing, you're like 95 to 105 IQ, you've realized that's an advantage for you, so you've convinced yourself of it, but you're not creative in any way, you can't think outside the box, you are the box. And
Mhm.
so, if the customers don't like the box, Hollywood is in trouble and screwed. And so you have to fire those so you can get people, and then you'll have a more range of opinion. Maybe some people will be over here, and maybe the people like it or not, or they'll be over here, or maybe they like it or not. But at least you'll get out. You need people which don't just conform.
Yes.
And not
That's what
they
the
conforming doesn't-
current staff are.
Yeah.
They're all just conformists.
Yeah, not conforming doesn't mean you'll make something that the audience like, but at least there'll be a chance.
Yep.
Whereas if the conformed square of allowable creation nobody likes, you'll always never like it, and you'll never go anywhere else.
When you
That's
see
how we get Unknown 9.
Yes.
God, yeah.
With like
you-
189 players or whatever is at current time.
We rarely get it, but you see some things that just, unfortunately, that they do very well, and you can tell because there's no woke garbage, anything at all, nothing political or social shoves in it at all. It's just pure entertainment. You can tell that the heads let the actual creative minds take control, and I mean they were good, but they. I don't know, especially like Disney, big example. They hire people that they can tell what to do, and they don't let them actually run the show, and that's how they want it. But that's why they're getting all this crap that's getting pushed out. Like an example, I don't care for Stranger Things that much now, but like the first season, that was really good. It was
Oh,
different, and they let them just run
Every
free
series
with
is the
their.
same.
Well, not every. Do you think this first season
No,
of
no,
Agatha is good? What about the
No,
Acolyte?
no,
You think
no,
that
no,
was
no,
good?
no. Every series of... I even forgot this name of the series. But every series of that is the same. Whatever you were talking about.
Stranger Things.
Every series of Stranger Things is exactly...
Oh,
it
every
hits
season.
all the same
That's what you
beats.
mean.
And so yeah, some are better than others. Like the one where a load of kids go underground and start sneaking into a Russian base is obviously worse, but they all hit exactly the same story beats. And the most recent series, I only liked the second half, and I thought the second half made the series, so I liked the series overall, but it was still only that bit I liked, and so it's kind of, you're just repeating the same,
Yeah.
you're repeating series 1 over and over and over and over and over again, which is what I had a problem with.
A more recent example of, I think they're letting the creative minds take control is Penguin. I'm loving it so much. I love a good
I need to watch
monster
that.
gangster. It's really good. I
It
love
i-
a good
it is
monster
good.
gangster
It's
show
nothing-
or movie, but it's it doesn't have anything to do, like, of course they talk a little bit about the Batman movie, which I
It's
forgot
nothing to do
certain
with
parts.
Batman at all.
There's little scenes like when the flood happens and all that, obviously, because that was a huge impact on Gotham and it's in the same universe. But I I kind of like that they don't really touch on that. It's just its own thing.
Yeah, it's
like
well
that.
written. But
It's
what I was
very
going to
well
ask
written.
you is, can you jump scare us?
You want me to jump scare us? Yeah,
I
I
want
can.
you to. I think that jump scaring us would really.
Bring us all together.
Yeah, we can all just.
I think we can all communalize in the uglification that's happened. Same things happened in Tomb Raider. You know, Netflix, they took an incredibly attractive person and thought, what if they look like a Monta?
I
And now-
know they made her so like brolic and diesel, and I'm like, her one thigh is bigger than both of mine together, and I'm not like, super tiny. I'm
Well,
like, damn.
it's just a bloke. Like the Netflix Lara
is.
Croft is just a bloke.
It's Larry
Whereas-
Croft.
Larry
this-
Croft. That's good.
I don't know
True.
what this is, but whatever this turns into is another level of game
Mhm.
creation.
All right, guys. I mean, it's Halloween season, so it's okay.
Yeah,
little
get
spook.
ready for a jump scare.
Trigger warning.
Ah,
Boom!
You know
It's
what
like,
the
wait,
transition
what?
reminded me of? The ugly stepsister from Shrek. With,
Yeah.
like, the universe. She looks like.
Oh my god.
I mean,
I
this
wanna
is just
bust
like
on
a
it.
you, but you without filters kind of like jump scare. It's like, you've every selfie you've taken with filters your entire life, and then suddenly you catch yourself in the mirror.
Like those girls on like Instagram that put on that heavy makeup filter and then they move. You see like the eyelash go over there.
Yeah. It's like, it turns out my chin actually doesn't look anything like my chin.
It's. I don't understand it. The
I mean,
first one was fine.
that is Dave with long hair. That's what that is.
This is who Bandai Namco bought. They saw the test build of this several years ago and said, this will make more money than One Piece and Naruto.
Yeah, but
This-
did that? Like, the issue that I have is people see
Yeah.
companies as for-profit organizations. And as an idea, the company is. But the idea
Same
is full of people. And so the people that you employ matter. And if you employed blokes that were, like, basically just pure capitalists, they're after resources, because resources and status to them means, like, reproductive health and all that kind of stuff. The issue is, as more women enter the workforce, what you end up with is a different dynamic. To them, status doesn't matter. To them, it's more consensus mechanism. And so if you enter a workplace and now you're more about virtue signaling how good you are to everybody around you, that can lead you down an entirely different path. And you don't lose money. Like, money is still a reward mechanism, but if you don't lose money when something fails, it doesn't really matter to you. And so you would take the social consequences above the money. So all that entire we see this a lot. I can't remember. I think it was Concord. There was something that came about Concord where it was talking about toxic positivity. That term has never been used around men before. Like, there is no such thing. Men inevitably, when they're around each other, criticize each other. They have a go at each other. They insult each other. There's no such thing about toxic positivity around blokes. But the other way, if it's only signaling around status, then it all becomes about positivity, virtue signaling, trying
Safe
to pretend.
spaces. Everyone
safe
needs to be
spaces,
heard.
Emotions. We can't say anything that might offend somebody else. So you go along that path and you get more and more extreme that way, where nobody can like step out of line, because if you do, then everyone else will shun you, and then you get expelled,
Yep.
and then your entire family.
This is what the
lineage
danger is, though, of social equality, because most humans.
equality.
Yeah.
The longer this has gone on, I think equality versus hierarchy is basically the good and evil.
Yep.
And you find equality basically works within a family dynamic. Father, husband, 2.4 children works perfectly. You scale it above that, you end up at evil. And I think
Exactly.
that's where most of the problems come from. It's hierarchy works amazingly in anything else outside of the house. Equality works great within a family, and if you mix them, that's it.
And that's what we used to have before the 19th Amendment and before trying to introduce women into the workforce. Women had it for the most part, actually, pretty fucking good. And then some jackass one day who was unlovable and couldn't get a man and give him children and a family, they said, no, I want to be the one with the yacht. I want to be the one who goes and travels. I want to have the toys and the fun things. Because as we moved away from the hunter-gatherer lifestyle and became more sedentary, women just wanted more because they were bored. And now, unfortunately, they've poisoned society. Every single society is actually struggling only because of women at this point. Women and weak men. And it's really fucking annoying. I would have loved to just do nothing. I would give up my driver's license in a fucking heartbeat if it means that no other dumb fucking woman is now going to aid in causing 55% more crashes on the fucking road. All right? I don't want to go work at the office and have Linda tell me about how Scott is fucking Marge from fucking Supply. All right? I don't care. I just want to do my fucking job or be left the fuck alone. But no, we have to suffer through this bullshit because a couple of unlovable women couldn't get shagged, and now we're stuck in this hellhole debating whether or not Kamala fucking Harris is better than Trump or not. We all know she's not. It's not a debate. Why are we having it? Fuck the 19th Amendment. Get rid of it.
Listen,
Sorry.
I'm down
I
to
have to
bake
admit,
cookies and drink wine. That's
when-
what we used to be able to do. We just chill.
when
All right,
next
you have
girl
nothing else
said-
to add to that. That was great.
I didn't know.
Mike, that's not the point. That's what you got out of this. Who's Marge?
I want to talk about it. I worked in an office for a week and a half, and I wanted to fucking slit my wrists
I
in
used to work
Minecraft.
Listen, I worked at 2 daycares. Talk about catty. It was all women because guys didn't really,
No,
work
they're
at
not in
daycares.
caretaker roles. Women for 100
No,
fucking years, the job
exactly.
demographic hasn't changed. You know why? Because women. It's not that women are stupid. They don't know that they can't be a fucking developer.
No, it's a different reality. Like if you the moment you come at something from the equality position, it leads you to different end goals. Like it's not an IQ thing. It's like, well, everyone knows the IQ differences. Men are more variable, so there's more men geniuses, but there's also men idiots.
Yep.
Whereas, so it's not an IQ thing per se. It's how you look at things. And if you come at things from, we need to be consensus. We need to all agree on things.
So stupid.
Yeah, but it work like most of this stuff is evolutionary. So if you're in a tribe, it makes sense. Like you need everyone else on side because the men are out hunting,
Well,
and
and
so
so
you
that's
need
the
people
most-
to guard your babies.
That's
So-
the most fucking fantastic thing, though. So we moved away from tribes and community. And now that everybody's got the internet and to connect or whatever, less than 10% of the global population is on Twitter, but the 10% that is fucking retarded. All right? We're all dumb and we all look for new forms of tribalism instead of interacting with our immediate communities. The reasons why we were technically healthier back then is because we had that dynamic. We had the individuals, the strong ones who went out and hunt and provided in their own way. And then we had the people who stayed behind, still doing meaningful things, but everybody was moving. There was no dead weight. And when there was dead weight, whether it's through the elderly or sick or whatever, they were either
That's
taken
the thing
care
you're
of
not
or
talking- yeah.
removed.
That is the dark part of that equation.
Yeah,
It is the
yeah.
I
infant
mean, it
mortality.
happened though. We got to talk about it. I mean, can't just ignore it.
Yeah.
Something. Okay, this is random. I
You want
was
it-
just
like,
talking
hey,
with
this is your channel, Wicked. It's
no,
like,
Oh yeah, let me know if I go too far into the
No, you're
evolutionary train, because
no, you're fine because I'm gonna
no,
go even
no,
a little more
you're
weirder
probably a
with
lot
the
safer
whole,
going into the evolutionary train than I am.
with the whole
there was
tribe
a whole
thing. Hold on.
No,
Don't let me forget it. Just remind me that I'm gonna bring up a tribe thing. I will let you go on your rant, but I'm next.
for a
not a rant.
long time, humans as a group were selecting for IQ, but as infant mortality went down, now everyone's surviving, and so then you turn out like actually there's a group of humanity which is more kind of immediate, because if you're very likely to die, then you don't care about long-term consequences, you care about immediate consequences, which means you breed more. And so over time, what you found out was rather than selecting IQ, we found selected for far more who like lived fast, die young. But if you don't die young, the entire evolutionary strategy fails. And so what we've got in modern society at the moment is we've got multiple evolutionary strategies that both are being kept kind of falsely created, but they're allowed to in modern society. And so you end up with everybody surviving, and you just find out who wins. And it might be that the one that wins in that scenario isn't the one you want to win.
Yep.
And it could even be that throughout all of history, this has already happened. And that's just the end of civilization. Which is why there's no more advanced civilization than this now. Because this is the way that always happens. They actually what helps you survive as a young species may not be what helps you survive as an older species. And you either jump that gap or it's over. Yes,
Yeah.
it is literally the more animalistic you are, the more you will just breed with anything. And if you like now, what we have is very intelligent people not choosing to breed because they think it's either bad for the planet or because they want a career. Well, those are the people who want to breed. Like I've long during the Olympics, I was like, I remember in China they made cardboard beds which would collapse under the weight of 2 people because they didn't want the Olympians to. I want the Olympians to breed. I want the next generation
So
of
that was
superhuman.
actually misinformation. Those cardboard boxes have been around for a long time. They don't collapse under the weight of 2 people. They're actually very stable.
This was specifically done during the lockdown and stuff. So that's why I believed it at the time. It was specifically during that period. The Chinese.
So they've used cardboard boxes though like that because it's an easy and recyclable resource, and they store really, really well. I actually used some of the.
I can't imagine there's that many Olympians that you need to develop a special.
So it's because it's always in a different place though. So like so they're not just bringing in. It's much easier to bring something foldable than an entire bed frame.
Well,
but
either
I
way,
used some of their blueprints
I think
to actually
the
make
Olympians
cardboard
should be
furniture.
given like reinforced steel beds just so they can hump as much as possible.
I'd
all the Olympians
absolutely
to breed.
rather Olympians make sweet fuckings every time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wicked, you had a point.
Yeah,
not really a point. I was talking with a friend about like I don't know where
It's like,
this
how on earth
subject
do I
came up.
follow that?
No, I know
Like,
it's
she
about
clapped.
tribes and stuff. No, it's about tribes and stuff. But you know how we have like the murderers, rapists, and all that, like the crazy people that like
Mhm.
when you see them in court, they have like no emotion, they don't care, they have no just
they don't have
I don't care.
proper emotional.
Yeah, and they're
responses.
just like completely checked out. Well, there's a theory that it's back from like tribal days where there was always like that psycho in your tribe that would go and pillage other tribes and areas like that and didn't care. It was like a psychopath.
Oh,
That is still in our DNA. So we still have people like that today that are sociopaths and feel nothing, no
No,
regret,
that's
and they're just.
That's
that's the
conflating things.
that's the feminist ideology coming forward.
Is it? I heard.
There's various different
Well,
things.
not
Like,
just
do you know
guys, women
Do you have the
too.
term? Do you have the term best man in America?
Yeah.
What do you
but
mean, like, for
probably
weddings?
Okay,
not.
yeah, like at a wedding, the best man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So that term originally comes from your best man would be the guy that went to a tribal village near you to kidnap a woman so you could marry her. He was your best mate that you would take with you to
Hell
kidnap
yeah.
a woman.
That's your bro.
Well, hey,
Bro.
if he'll do that, he'll do anything, right? And so you have there's a whole complex system of like genetic, like who you would choose, that kind of thing, that would come forwards that to choose the best genes. And it comes down to like not only we'd lost that, but federal criminals reproduce at a higher rate than non-federal criminals. And there is a very different a different. Oh, it gets so difficult to talk about. At different points, do people like different things? So when you're fertile, you also prefer more federal criminals. There's even a point where strippers would get paid more tips at a certain point of her cycle because she moved her hips more.
Mm-hmm.
And she just did it naturally, but other people recognize that like hips moving. Like all of this comes down to such a base generic level of your DNA. Everyone's like, no, we're so much more evolved now. This is 2024. We can all overpower it. It's like, no, all you are is basically a computer that does exactly what you're told to, and then you do the action and like post hoc rationalize why you did the action. I did this, and then I thought why I did it afterwards. And I think a lot of things will be, rather than planning things out in advance, if you realize why you did the action in the first place, you'd be way better off.
So much better. Yeah. The whole concept of the dummies who genuinely believe the DEI language and like, oh, we need to have modern representation or like a normal woman in games. They don't realize that we're all really stupid. We're all animals at the end of the day, and you're not going to rewire biology no matter how much that you bitch, moan, and cry and vomit about it. It's not happening. We all see sexy hips and we want to make sweet loves to it, and we're going to stare at it, and it's going to be appealing, and nothing's ever going to change that. The idea of childbirthing hips hips have always been the same thing. Guys
Good
statistically
genes.
prefer wider hips and bigger tits. It has nothing to do with, oh my God, my body type's
And there's
not
a
good
back
enough.
angle.
Yeah, but it comes down to, well, what's going to bear the most children? Larger breasts potentially means in the mind of a man, oh, those are full boobies for good milka, so even when there's a drought, the child will still be fed after we have it. Same thing with the hips. Wider hips means that you will have most likely less problems giving birth. Somebody like me, I'm going to have problems. Doctor already told me for multiple reasons because I got tiny little fucking hips. I am not genetically primed for these things. I technically would not be mated with. That's okay. That doesn't mean anything. We need to have
I
objective
mean, the boobs could
conversations.
have balanced it out, but you also took
You
those
brought
away,
back
so,
some-
you know.
True.
Of course, he's gonna go back to that.
We're
Like,
gonna
"Oh,
go
I
back
did
to
this
that,
to
but it's
myself,
true.
folks."
And some Patrick after she did it.
Look, I genuinely thought I was going to be forever alone, and I was okay with it at that time. I thought I was the undateable, and I would never get anything.
See, that's the thing. I have no problem with that. I just think of it from his perspective. It's like, look, I accepted her anyway. Imagine
I
what
love how he
could have
doesn't
had.
even know her
Exactly.
husband, and he's like, "Listen,
Yeah,
I'm so
bros
sorry."
before hoes.
I feel like that's going to be what everyone does. When people finally meet my husband, they're just going to go,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry. Imagine what you could have had for.
Oh my
There's like
goodness.
Photoshop pictures. He's like, I know. Like, imagine.
No, he's like, all right, when I can put a baby in her, though, it's going to be good shit.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'm gonna get a
Imagine
couple
the
of these
genetics that I'll
super
pass down.
chats. They're piling up. I'm sorry, guys. We're having fun. Sorry.
Sorry.
Ruddy, thank you for the 2. Wicked is
So
a good
what-
egg.
this
She's
is
a
how
little
all the
pissed off.
streams go.
I've been called the Sour Patch Kid. I think
Hey,
that's
nothing beats, what was it? Pasta midget or something?
pasta
That's a
midget.
good
I'm a
one.
pasta midget. I'm a pistol. I'm turning into Disparu. I'm gonna have many names. He's Sasparu, Disparu.
Oh, Sasper is a good one.
No,
Yeah.
no,
oh, you want to see Sasparu?
wicked
Hold on.
name.
my
Yes, queen.
yeah.
Go on and tell me a nickname that you named me yourself. That's like the height of everything.
But the
Oh my
chat
god.
likes it too. Of course. So what? I gave you the nickname. I think
It's a good one,
I
though.
gave you Disparu. Wasn't that X-ray
gonna-
tugs?
Wait, did you
Oh,
drop an uwu?
I love how as soon as the clip was done, though, he was waiting and ready to just continue to write.
Yeah, I have no idea what my soundboard is, so I actually have to check what my soundboard is before I play something I don't mean to.
Oh no. Justin Martin said, "You're the 5. Wicked really embracing the degeneracy, bringing this one on. Just don't ask her about feet. That's slippery." Oh, sorry. You
This
said
one.
that. You said that an hour ago, Justin. I'm so sorry, but it already happened. Thank you. Gary, thank you for the 5. FYI, you can only breastfeed a baby for a year. After a year, they start growing teeth. Have to switch to a bottle if you don't want a mangled tit. Well, yes, but a lot of moms still. Well, actually, I don't know. It depends.
Well, yeah,
After-
because a
it's
lot of
like
moms
6
teach
months
their
to a year is when
people to suck their thumb,
normally
and then they end
stop.
up with stumpy thumb. It's like, no, don't do that. It's better with a stumpy nipple.
So they're not on solid food after a year?
It's 6 months that you can start doing like the baby
No one
food.
bring up Little Britain.
But I think after a year usually
It
is
had
when
a
it's
sketch show.
they stop like
Britain.
completely.
If you ever heard a
What?
guy say
Oh.
bitty,
I know
Bitty
what
is
you
a-
like bits.
Yeah.
Little Britain, bitty specifically is a reference to a grown man who still used to suck on his. Yeah,
That's
no.
what South Park was also making fun of.
If they ever said bitty,
Oh.
Yeah, they did. They did in the episode about Bono. They said he wanted the bitty.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's from Little Britain in the 90s. Over
Yeah.
You know, this side note on them. You know, they have Trey Park and Matt have a new show coming out where they're building a restaurant. It's the Mexican restaurant that's Cartman's favorite. I forget the name. His favorite Mexican restaurant. And they're actually making it in
Oh.
real life, and it's a show. where
Casa
they're-
Bonita.
Yes, and they're making it. I want to go there.
Casa
When it's done.
Bonita.
think it's kinda funny.
Daddy.
Oh God,
Did that work?
Yeah?
It did work.
What was that?
Why
Another
can't I
jump
hear it?
scare. So mad. Hokies, thank you for the 10. Wicked going English soon. We'll have to super chat in pounds. Well, that's proper money. That's what Disparu
That's
says.
yeah, that is proper money. Yeah, we don't know any
Yeah,
I
you
just call
did.
it a squiggly
Weird-
10, a squiggly 5.
weird
Thanks for the
American.
squiggles.
Dungeon Daddy.
Did you hear
Okay, I
that?
hear it now. I also hear
That's-
me
is that-
talking.
It's a
but
rude
here we
eye,
go.
right?
Yes. That was Rings of Power. That was Galadriel's. I'm gonna have to mute. I'm
love
gonna
how
have to mute
Sammy
myself,
wasn't even
otherwise I
surprised
can't
by
talk.
that noise.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
That was Galadriel looking at Celebrimbor, and then I think there was another one. Yeah, both of them Celebrimbor. Like, she literally,
He's got the buttons again, guys. I'm sorry.
she saw him got impaled. Well, wait until I find the X-ray girl one. That's when you'll.
Oh, the horse one.
Mm-hmm.
She's not even here to defend herself. Mate, thank you for the
Is it
5
this
gifted
one?
subs. What one?
No cock like horse cock. Send your butt
All I hear is
into
no
shock.
no cock like horse cock.
That's it.
Grab the lube and slam the day away.
It's so quiet.
It is very quiet. I just know the song, and now it's gonna get freaking stuck in my head again. Thanks.
There's no cock like horse cock.
It's a song.
Mr.
It's a
Hands was my inspiration too.
The best one about that is
you don't know who that is?
No,
I do.
Is that
Chrissy
where she
Mayer-
gets the song from?
Chrissy Mayer found out who that was on FNT, and she was watching the video live. So there's a everyone knows the moment, right?
I'm
The
afraid I'm
moment.
not looking it up.
And
She's
she
scared.
went, oh! It's like,
Everybody
on FNT.
did.
And yeah, oh no!
Dude,
Yeah.
that's something that's ingrained in my brain, along with the BMX Pain Olympics and
Mm-hmm.
the two kids in a sandbox.
I like Japanese shows. Japanese shows will have like reality television shows where you're just supposed to sweat into a cup, and you can
Yes.
do whatever you want. Just sweat into the cup the most, and you win. Like, they don't care.
I love
Uh,
shit like that, man.
Yeah, the
so
best
funny.
reality TV show I've ever seen was I think it was a Korean show.
Okay, right now.
It was on Netflix. I think it was called the Devil's Plan, and you
Oh,
legitimately
the reality
couldn't
show, yeah.
you legitimately couldn't have it in the West because, quite frankly, people are too thick. That's the most polite way I can say it. This had rule sets for the games that would take like 20 minutes to describe, and the Koreans just understood it. It's like, there's no way most people over here would even, you couldn't do that game show. They were just like, wait, what? I don't understand. And they were coming like complex strategies and stuff, and it's like, no. This is why the more you go through the world and you experience other cultures, the more you realize equality is a lie. No, there is no way you're the same as everyone else. Everybody knows it, and we're all supposed to lie about it, but it's not true.
I've been introducing, so my husband's like a big normie, gamer guy, but super normie, right? And so I've been exposing him to Japanese culture and like anime and everything and why I
It's
want to
just
go.
better. It's
It
just a
is.
better
Everything
culture.
about their society, for the most part, is better. I disagree with the way that their government's handling certain things like patent laws and some of the zero stuff, but that's different. Still, their
I
culture,
disagree with how they're handling the fertility crisis, but here we are.
that too. But their culture in general, though, is just so
Yes.
much fucking better. And he's like, I get it now. I fucking get it.
Leave things better. Like English culture, traditional. Whenever I talk about it, it's traditional. So traditional English culture would be leave things the way you found it.
Yep.
Japanese culture is leave things better than you found it. So
Yep.
they would literally enter an area and clean it up. Whereas we would enter it and like, well, it's not my rubbish.
Japan
Yeah.
is probably so
But
beautiful.
I will also
want to go
take away
so
what came
bad.
with me.
Have you ever been there, Savvy, to
I-
Japan?
Not yet,
If you-
but my husband has less than 300 days to take me. Or
If
else I
you
will
go-
cause problems on purpose.
If you go to Japan, I would go
purpose.
as soon as possible because I think it's just downhill from here.
Yeah, that's what I
It makes
keep
me sad. I want to go so bad.
What a lot of places in the world don't realize is that their culture is so unique that it only applies to them, and the moment you introduce other people, it just falls apart. And that's one of
Yeah.
them. England was another culture that just didn't like.
Yep.
English culture only works for the English. That's it. And some cultures, I think American culture is quite the like things like freedom and stuff. If anyone can do whatever they want, it's like, well, everyone can do whatever they want, so it kind of works.
There used to
But-
be a standard, and now there kind of isn't. You can get by without a standard, but then so you have a mesh of people
well,
with
that's
and
what
without
inclusion
standards.
is, the destruction of standards.
Yeah, but
There's
America.
another one, Disparu.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's a lot. I don't know if you know who Mazza is, but by the end of the stream, you'll hear his name a few times because there's about 20 different Mazzas. He's
You know what my
multiplying.
favorite thing about that is that he spelt it incorrectly. I'm like, it feels like Mozza is in the room. Like Mozza couldn't spell that correctly either, so I kind
I
of
don't
like
know who Mazza actually is, but
Oh.
I know the donation
Mazza-
name.
Malta is an
Oh.
experience
And we'll bring Savvy
as
with
a
us.
person.
That would be
Oh,
fun.
Okay.
Saucy Japan trip, and Savvy can come with us. We got 300 days.
I
Actually-
fit in tiny spaces. I can fit in
Maybe like go in a
Just
suitcase.
so we-
And
Oh,
then like X-ray scan it. It's like, well, to be fair, like X-ray did go through customs once, and the guy recognized her hat that had like FNT on it, and so he just let her
Aw.
through. So
That's so sweet.
Aw,
we would
yeah.
we would the thing
Because
the
that
issue
could have
is
gone
we
either
would
way.
we would need. Well, that's what she thought at the time. She like, I don't know
Yeah.
whether like when he said, "Are you from Ephraim?" She didn't know whether it was like pro or
Mhm.
con. But if we are going to smuggle Savvy in through a suitcase, we would need that guy back again.
We need to find him.
Yeah.
You should have got his number.
He's like, well,
Well,
there's
that
no
was just to
explosives,
Canada.
but
But I don't know. Yeah, coming in or out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, thank you for the 5. By the way, congrats on Saucy number 50. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Oh.
This is a great one to be on for. It's our 50th episode. Are you okay, Disbrew?
no, your Wicked never's even told me this was number 50. I didn't know this was meant to be special.
Well, it is because Savvy's here, so I thought you knew
Yeah.
already. Come on.
I make it special.
Hey, you had your bro time when X-Ray wasn't here a couple weeks ago, and it was you and Dan, and I just let you guys
Yeah,
have
it
your
was
bro.
just
Now
me and
there's
Wicked.
more
You get your bro
estrogen.
time in
I-
with me, Disparu. It's
And
fine.
I mean, that's true. You do. But I let you and Dan take over the stream a couple weeks ago, so now the girls are going to take over. You're welcome.
Are you saying that X-Wing was a girly stream?
No, I said Dan. When Dan was on, you guys had your bro stream, and now it's a girly stream. This brew
Wait,
is
what do you
drunk.
mean? How has this not been a bro stream? I went on a 2-minute rant about
Yeah.
getting rid of women's
I
rights.
mean,
She,
That's
she,
true.
Yeah, exactly.
It
That
has
was
been
amazing.
more of a
That was the
bro-
best. That was the best
This
run
was
that's ever
more-
been on the stream.
that's
To be honest,
fair. This is more of a bro stream than your stream with Dan because you guys are talking about.
people are like, "This is a danger to our democracy." I'm like,
Midgets
based.
and stuff. That's true. That's true.
There was a guy recently. It was like he was talking about UK. It's like, oh well, you know, there's loads
has.
of stuff. All the UK MPs aren't they really corrupt? Aren't they only really after themselves? Maybe we could just like increase the wages of the MPs so they were less corrupt. I'm like, yeah, you know, that'd be amazing if we increased all the wages of all the MPs so they didn't take on second jobs and stuff. That'd be amazing. You know what we could do? We could kind of increase, like, get rid of all the MPs and just give all of their wages to one person. And then we could call that person like a king or something. That'd be really good. And then we could have like this king that just made all the decisions, and then we
Eh.
could like, it was literally like reinventing one thing I've loved about modernity is people rediscovering what's worked for thousands of years. And so there was a time when Zoomers rediscovered monogamy, and they even came up. I can't remember what the name was, but it was something sexual, and I think was it demisexual, where they're only attracted to
Yes,
people where they have an emotional
that.
connection with.
I can't.
And I'm
I
like,
can't
yeah,
keep
you've
up
just
with those.
reinvented everything.
No,
that's
it
worked for
wasn't. Demi
thousands.
is sometimes. Demi is sometimes.
Oh, is it?
Demi comes from the
Okay.
Latin.
I know there was one though. It's like
There is.
I'm only attracted to people I have an emotional connection with.
There
I'm like, yeah,
i-
you've
there
just
is. What is it
reinvented the
called?
same thing.
It's not the Ace one, but it's adjacent to Ace.
I think Ace is
I don't know.
non.
Maybe someone in the chat will
Ace
know.
is
I have
not,
no
yeah.
idea.
I thought it was Dammy, but I could be wrong.
I
Videos?
thought Demi
Hey,
was.
it's only a Google away.
Yeah, it's only a Google away.
Hey.
Watching Zoomers find out stuff that we like grew up with makes me feel old, and I'm not even that old yet. Like I saw a video of a girl that found a squirt, which is a skirt with a short under it, and she's like, "Oh my
Oh,
god,
I
look
thought
at
you said
this-
squirt.
no, no."
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. That's basically just Africa TV. It's a skirt
No.
with shorts underneath it.
Okay, so
Uh,
also you were right about the demisexuality. However,
Oh.
it's been changed. They reinvented it again, and now it's
Right.
sapiosexuality.
Oh, I've heard of that
Like
one as
Homo
well. Yeah,
sapien?
I've heard of sapiosexual.
Well, someone.
yeah.
So they're only attracted to people they find intelligent.
Rich.
So they're not rich.
Well, no, it is like that's literally why people find intelligent people attractive, because it's linked to resources. Same thing with comedy. Comedy comes from intelligent people. Intelligent people make resources. The one thing that annoys me more, like the most about modernity, is the fact that everyone's supposed to play this game where everyone knows what everyone wants, but no one's supposed to admit it.
It's
Yeah, I can't keep up with them. I remember when all this first started.
Well, it's
had a
like an
friend-
infinite amount.
I know when all
TikTok.
this first started, I didn't know what Oh my god, what is it right now? The other word for bi? I can't think of it right now.
Two.
That you're attracted to everything. What is it? Oh, pansexual.
Oh,
so
for
we were
I don't
talking
really
about
care
that,
what I don't really
no,
care
but I
what
didn't
someone
know
does
what
with their
that
pans
meant.
as long as they wash them
And
before
I
cooking.
and I was talking to my friend about it, we don't really talk anymore. She went super like left and weird, whatever. But I asked her, and it's funny because, and at the time there wasn't like, oh, she's super left, she's super right, whatever. I was just having a conversation with her. I'm like, what's pansexual mean? And she explained it to me, and I was like, so it's just bi. And she's like, well, and she didn't know what to say to me because I made a
Yeah,
valid
because
point.
the answer is
And I
no.
wasn't trying to argue with her. I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't get it that it just means bi. And I wasn't trying to argue. I wasn't being a
Yeah.
jerk. And she
Mhm.
couldn't explain it to me because she knew it was retarded to try and say, well, if I want to be attracted to this rubber band, I can be.
Yes.
Like,
That's the problem with them. They can't even play their own game as well as
No.
they
Yes.
think they can, because the only response to that, if I was one of them, would be, well, no, you see, there are actually many different types of bodies. Like the lady boys in Thailand, they would fall under
They wouldn't even go with that.
pansexuality.
It is literally like
Stupid.
to have like it
So
comes to a
dumb.
maximum at 105 IQ, so you are not creative, so you can only like you require somebody that has already come up with that argument, which is
Mhm.
why the Daily Wire's tactic comes out so well, because they make a movie and then it's like, oh, we should probably think about this, and they all collectively get together their one brain cell and communally get a brain together to come up with, maybe we need a definition for this one thing, and then they all learn it, but that's the only thing they can say from that
Mhm.
point on. So if someone else, one of the reasons why coming out with the question works so well, just asking questions, because that person never came up with the beliefs that they have. Everyone else works from, I have foundational beliefs, and they build up from
Yep.
there. So I can tell you why all of my beliefs are the way they are, because I came from an original foundation, and then I came up with my own beliefs. If you got taken them from someone else, when someone asks you an unusual question, if you've not heard that from the people that you got them from, you have no idea where it comes from.
That's why I ask questions and why they
Yeah.
label me the professional question asker like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. That's how I got.
I've heard, I've seen it on Twitter where people are like, "Oh my god, you're just asking questions." It's like, yes. It's like,
They're
know how people
genuine
say
questions
that,
too. Please answer them.
you
That,
do
like-
find a lot of the rebuttals come from the idea that they will just raise a point, but they expect you to do the work to try and work out why it's bad, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, no, you haven't explained why it's bad. What,
But-
why would a movie of all white people be bad? If you haven't explained why that's bad, why should I assume that it's bad in the first place? Like, I can explain to you why diversity is bad. I can explain to you why diversity results in all movies that are exactly the same grey mush that nobody likes. I can tell you the reasoning behind that and explain to you. You can't, but when you just go, well, it's got all white people. So? And it's like, no, you're just supposed to
No,
assume
but
it's
that's
bad
when you
because
get,
that's where
that's
the
when you
society
get
comes
called
from.
the ist and the faux because that's the
Mhm.
only rebuttal argument
I
that they
live
have
in
back.
England
Like, you know
where
what?
I can get sent to prison for a tweet. Like,
It's
if
true.
I'm not in prison, you're going to at least have to outsmart me. Like, seriously.
And they can't.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to get to some of these super chats because I feel we're going to go back to old topics because some of these are an hour old. Sorry, guys. This happens all the time. Don't we really? I mean, it's Disbrew's fault. It's okay. Mad Amos for 5. Savvy bullied us to join by claiming she put on pants, real pants, or just sweats because sweats don't count. I have comfy, like, kind of sweatpants on.
These are sleepy pants.
Yeah, me too. They're black. Everything is black. Sorry. Can't see anything. They're my Halloween
This is
Horror
why
Nights
men
pants.
work on oil rigs.
Yep.
I have sleepy.
Suckers.
No, there is not a man in the entire world that has sleepy pants or even knows what that term means.
Oh, don't get
Well,
this started on
normal people-
pajamas.
Yeah, normal
hates
people
them.
would sleep in them.
Oh.
As soon as the camera's off, fuck off. pants.
I don't know why you have pants that you specifically sleep in.
I
That you
don't.
also
Argument a
wear
few
at other
times.
times where you're not specifically sleeping.
I have not worn pants to sleep in.
You have to remember, this is even more
In a
unusual for
long
me,
time.
where pants over in England mean underwear. So whenever any American talks about pants, it just is really weird.
That's
so I've got
true.
no pants on. I'm like, I don't know why you're telling me this information.
I've
This
got
is really
no pants
bizarre.
on, chat.
The chat's gonna lose it now. Dan will be back in a minute. He'll be like, "Wait, no socks either."
It's like, what?
Just brew. This
Look,
one's for you
No,
from
Ian's
Ed.
in Scotland. If people didn't have trousers on in Scotland, they'd freeze to death.
Mm. Do you guys do you use the word pantaloon still or no?
We know the word pantaloons, but it's mainly used with regards to like pirate culture.
Okay.
We call them trousers.
Okay.
So pants are like knickers.
Yeah.
We would like individuate them between the sexes. So you'd have like boxers for the blokes and knickers for the women.
Yeah. I know.
Like a
knickers.
bloke would never call his stuff knickers.
No.
Oh. Well, this one's for you.
Oh,
Disco.
yeah,
Thank you for the
no, it's
five,
like when
Ed.
you use pants in an entirely different term. So I'm just explaining everything
Hold on,
because I don't know.
Q.
I don't know which American term that you were like, oh no, we need to be
I actually
different.
know all the British
like-
terminology. I dated a British dude for 2 weeks, and then I broke up with him because he stood
in 2
between
weeks.
me and an Xbox.
In 2 weeks, I learned the entire of English culture.
I
That was fine.
did.
That was
I
all I
did.
needed to know. I know they don't season their food. They have bad teeth. That was it. That was the end of it. I was like, you have bad teeth. He's like, yeah, you're all flat chested. He's like, well, at least I did it
never had an
deliberately.
issue with the
You
teeth
cretin.
thing.
I was like,
I never had. I don't understand the teeth thing. That doesn't bother me.
This one's
I'm just
for
glad you didn't take that as
Disparu.
an insult. That was a really dodgy
Why
line
would
that
she
I
take
just
it
did. Unless I was confident you wouldn't have got offended, I wouldn't have said it to anyone else. So that's about as complimentary as an English person can be. I was
Yeah.
willing to insult you.
Disparu, what is your opinion on choking out AAA studios from all support, considering they know what they want but choose not to make it?
My attitude for a long time has been a lot of people tend to prefer to talk to people as if they're all as good as them. So you're a good person that generally says what you mean, and other people lie. I have never been a person where it's like everyone's equal. No, I think good and evil people exist, and I've long passed the point of people are stupid. I'm now like, no, if your morality is different to mine, I actually don't know what else to call that except evil, and I don't want evil to exist. And therefore, if someone's like, no, I think I'm doing the right thing, it's like, no, you're not. And so I think my attitude's long been, I said this in the London meetup, I think you can actually solve Hollywood, gaming, anything else by just sitting in the meetings, because this ideology has a very specific language set. And it's not complicated because these people aren't smart and they all know the same thing and they all repeat the same thing. So there's literal words. Nobody uses the words diversity, equity, inclusion unless you are part of the tribe. That signals to the tribe. That's why the words actually exist. And so if you just fired those people, you can literally sit in a meeting. Don't say what you're there for. Just tick, 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 name. And you could fire them all. And it's like, I don't know about the individual laws of that country to know whether you can do that. But I do know, because they've been doing it for a long time, that HR within large companies already has dossiers on all the people. And the reason they have dossiers on all the people is so that they can fire them whenever they want, just in case they need to fire them whenever they want. So Disney definitely has dossiers on all the people that they could fire if they wanted to. And that's what I would do. I would literally take all the systems that exist right now and I would inverse them. And because I'm good and they're evil. And they've been using all their stuff for evil, so I would take their stuff and just invert them. And
I have a faster way. Every single person who's filed a complaint at HR, just fire them.
I would do that.
And then fire HR.
Because
It's everybody.
I would do that as well. There's various stages of the plan. But yes, largely the point is to get back to where you were originally before everything changed. Because movies used to be good. Society used to be good, and so I want to get back to that place. So I would do the things in reverse to get back to that place.
I want to import my goddamn Japanese dirty books where men are fucking without having to worry about some asshole switching my femboys to a fucking tranny. Fuck.
I mean, that's another way of putting
Don't
it.
mess with my goddamn yaoi.
But I do think there's
love to
basically there's kind of a plan already here. You've seen it done. It was done in reverse. You can just reverse it and do it back. And there is one thing I've learned doing YouTube, and this is only like the last 2.5 years or something. I didn't appreciate the differences between England and America. And doing the streams, and I understand the differences a lot more now. And we just don't have the same hang-ups about freedom that you do. And I think that equates to we are more willing to use power to do what needs to be done than you are. Because America is far more like, no, anyone should be able to do what it... No. In the UK, I think you should be able to be English, and that's it. I have no problem. If you're not English, you should be made to be English, or you should leave. I have no problem with being made to be conform to a societal thing because it's the best society and that's the best way to be and that's what you should be. Whereas America's far more like, you should be able to be anything. It's like, well, what is really your argument that you shouldn't be allowed to commit crime if you're allowed to be anything and freedom is your main point? I think that's a weakness. And that is, I think that's something America's going to have to face at some point. That if your main ideology is about freedom, then you have no standards. Because that includes everything.
And that's what I was
And
talking about before, the
standards.
combination of standards and no standards.
Well,
It's
like,
such a strange thing.
exclusivity gives value. Oxygen means nothing on Earth because everybody has it. If you're on Mars, it's the most profitable thing you can possibly own. And so if everyone's equal, you have no standards, everyone can do whatever they want. Whereas if you have a specific culture, which every other country in the world does, you have to behave this way, that is valuable, and you have to obey that thing, or you should go to somewhere else where you prefer it. And I'm not, and the more I've thought about it, the more I think that equality is literally the single most evil ideology to have ever existed on all of the face of the planet, and it's responsible for more deaths. And I don't know how to be more disgusted with that thing.
I think it comes down, I think that's a combination of things, because what I view that messaging as is very different. And so obviously there was a point in history where we promoted deeper thought, where philosophy was a very important thing. And so the idea of freedom, yes, you could have the freedom to kill a person, but obviously in a societal structure, you don't have the freedom to do that. And so
Yeah.
you
Depends what they're
used to
doing.
have, yeah, but you used to
Like,
have,
if they invade your house,
exactly, then you suddenly have the freedom to kill. So, you know, it's freedom, but it's understood that it's freedom within limitation. And
Yeah,
so
it's not like anarchy.
yeah,
you know?
but the people coming
no,
in
I'm not
without
preaching anarchy
standards.
when I'm saying, like, freedom is the ultimate idea that you can do anything that you want.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying that culture is the bounds of that.
yeah,
And that
exactly.
Okay.
like, and one thing that people forget is that you are raised within a culture, so you know nothing else. So I only know English culture. That's what I've
Yeah.
raised. That's what I like. That's what I want. And so everyone in England should obey English culture because you should be within the bounds of that culture. Whereas in America, you may have a bounds of different. It may be wider, it may be narrower, whatever it was, but you've been raised within that. But what I'm saying is, anyone else should also be like. I'm saying that you shouldn't be able to go to America and say, "I think you should do this with way." Like, no, this is the way we do things here. This is the correct way because this is how we do things here, and that's it. And I think that tolerance and equality and the idea that everyone knows everyone isn't the same, right? Because it takes 5 seconds. If all of us ran a race, we'd all have different times. So we know we're not equal. So anything you build on that is built on a sandcastle that will inevitably collapse the moment it's faced with reality.
Yeah, and that's
the
what I
issue
mean
is
by
that's
that
the foundation of
philosophical
all modern
understanding.
society.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where the philosophical conversations used to come from, and they used to be so
Ooh,
wide
you
of
can't have that
breath.
now.
but now people don't have that. Now on Twitter, they're sitting there with, oh, I got to get my thought out in 200 characters or less. And so that's degraded the concept of thought. And so when you're comparing cultures and things like that and then trying to use equality and freedom in them, people are just obscuring them to the point of just being, oh, well, I have the freedom to be whatever I want, and that's that, instead of realizing that no, that freedom is within the confines of a culture. And then the other weird thing too that America has to deal with is the individual culture of states, which causes another layer to that. The people in Texas
Although I
will
quite
do
like
things
that.
different from New York.
I think that acts as like a buffer.
Yeah.
So that if California wants to do something stupid, Las Vegas or whatever, Florida isn't affected by it. So that's something I really like about America is the states.
Well, you have to be careful with that because everybody's still affected by California's dumb shit.
It's all
I don't know in the
Unfortunately.
details enough to comment on that, but like over here,
DEI, ESG, localization, most of the game quality of major studios only went down
The
once
tax
they had
breaks in
California stuff.
California.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The tax breaks in California and Hollywood that require you that you have basically the population of California in your production. So I get that to a degree. It's just over here, if London decides something, we're all it. So there's no buffer at all.
Yeah.
So I do like your state system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's. I
and
mean, I went from a blue state to a red state, and I love it. I've been in Florida for 2 years now. I was in New York, not New York City. I was in kind of a red area, but New York City.
Yeah, I
California is
hate
still
going up there.
worse, but New York is pretty bad.
I think that's because I don't mean it to come across, and I don't know whether it does, but it's definitely not my intention. It was like I'm anti-America when I say any of this stuff. I'm
No,
literally
I
talking
don't
about
register
the
it as that.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like there's a lot of stuff I like about America. For instance, when anyone's asked me what I like about America, it's literally that you are the hype people. I've never been introduced into a stream or like as complimentary as an American will do it. They will make you feel like you're the king of the world kind of thing. Americans are really good at a British person would never
We will
give
gas
you an
you up. No, I'm
introduction.
kidding.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. And so there's a lot to like, and I don't want it to come across like I'm literally talking about the ideas. The issue is now, and I think it's one of the problems is if you think about books, you needed a certain level to get published.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody can say things.
Mm-hmm.
And so now when you see a Twitter, you don't know whether it's a bot or like someone with 65 IQ or whatever, you just see the comments. So everybody's treated equally. It's like, well, if you don't believe people are equal, their opinions aren't equal as everything else. And so, but if you're looking from a top-down perspective of the government, and now everybody's opinions are all equal. And so, 65 IQ is the same as someone with 185, the best genius that's ever existed in the entire history of the world. How are you supposed to do that? And so you end up just going off course. And this is why, even with freedom of speech, I'm not pro, like, massive edit. Like, no, because if you're going along the correct path and someone's allowed to just pull you in this direction, well, now you're over here. It's like, well, this is the correct path. So, no. And this isn't something I realized until I started streaming with more American streamers who are we're incredibly pro-freedom. Like, I don't want any infringement on anything. And like, I can understand this. I think it comes back to, again, on the family value, right? You're a husband, a wife, and your kids. I don't want anything to infringe that. I think that is your unit. You decide between you. That's everything. But when you're talking about nations, maybe there needs to be a bit more rules.
Yeah, no, I
standards.
like these kinds of conversations, but it is hard to have because one, I don't know if chat really likes getting into it, and two, it's
I don't
really
know
easy to
either,
clip
but this isn't the first time
out.
on the stream I've gone like
Yeah.
this.
No, but I
Usually
love
just
it.
let
I
let
love
him
it.
go off. I
I
don't have a
do.
problem with it. I know some people in the chat might like what he's saying. They take it that way.
Yeah, like
They
I
still stick
personally
around
don't.
Well,
though. They're not offended really, but I know
Yeah.
some people will be. He's not trying to be offended. I mean, I think Disparu doesn't really
never
care if he
try to-
offends people, but he doesn't try to. And he's
Well,
just
it depends
the
who
way
you
said it
are. If you're
exactly, where
Agatha
you-
Harkness, I'm
I
trying
want
to offend you.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that's
I
fair
think
though.
you're a
That's
great
fair.
actress and a horrible character.
That's I mean, same with Aubrey Plaza. I love Aubrey, but what?
No,
What the
I
hell,
have no negative.
come
I
on,
have no
Aubrey.
negative comments for Aubrey Plaza in that series.
Just
I
look
think
at her.
she's
Just there to
Well,
look
well,
at.
She's too cute.
Disparu
I
doesn't.
mean, Wicked probably knows where I'm going to go with that comment.
I
But,
was just about to say, I'll let you take it.
it's like Aubrey Plaza, like, seems to be a good actress, and she's the most entertaining part of the show. But at the same time, that entire show would do better if it was just like 21-year-old witches like Charmed. Like if they had the attractiveness of Charmed, not the remake, the original series of Charmed, like, Agatha would be way more entertaining. You'd have way more viewers if it just had like Alyssa Milano in her prime in it.
In a bikini. Because that's what they took.
Well, it's
so
all
funny 'cause
Alyssa
you can
Milano was
tell
used for in
Charmed.
Charmed.
Yeah.
It was like,
You
oh,
can
we gotta
tell
wear
when it
like
went
maid's
from-
outfits. Yes, we are.
You can tell when it went from a woman controlling it, which I'm gonna.
Because it
I'm
got
not-
better.
Well, I liked the beginning Charmed seasons, but that was for girls. Then they made it to where girls still watch, but they're like, we need to bring in the males. So that's when mermaids and they they did all that. Like, remember when she was a mermaid? They made her a mermaid and she was
No,
just had shells on her
That's
boobs.
not what I'm talking. I'm on about the original series of Charmed were not just for. They still had You realize what Alyssa Milano was doing before Charmed, right?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm saying the writers of Charmed initially, the writer. I know a little bit about it
She
because I
was
was
a
into it.
softcore actress.
Oh yeah, Alyssa Milano's.
She-
Of course, I
She
know.
did
know.
adult movies with an EastEnders star, a vampire movie.
Okay,
Like,
see,
and
I
she
don't
would
know.
just show
I don't know all
everything.
that. I just know she was.
Yeah, she would
into
literally
corn
show
and whatever.
everything. Like this is somebody who had no standards. Then this is
Yeah.
why she was successful
Well,
when it came
I'm
to
not
television.
saying I'm not saying her standards. I mean the writer. Originally, the person who created Charmed, she wrote it about her and her sisters, and then she left after season.
I don't know what she had with her sisters going on. I tell you.
They were witches. No. But I'm just saying you can tell
They
when it took
had a
turn,
demon in the
and it was
basement
more.
that would train them how to fight.
I just mean it was
They would wear
loosely
boob
based
tubes
this
where he literally
through.
punched them in the face. I mean, where are we going with this? I
Oh my
watched Charmed
gosh.
a lot.
All right. I gotta get some of these super chats. I feel bad. Sorry, guys. Someone yelled at me, and Mate was like, "Catch up on the super chat. You super chatted that. I'll get to that." Sorry, Ian. Thank you for another 50. I was so conservative with tabletop waifu and milk. Yes, Ian.
I mean, that's basically my Saturday, my general Saturday.
It
You
is.
just,
It
you
is.
just need to add alcohol. But because he's Scottish, he already added alcohol.
He drinks
so it's
more
fine.
on streams he watches with you, though. He said it. Like, he'd be like, this is a Dish Brew stream. I had to go
Saturday
pick
is
up some more
basically my
wine. Or...
drinking day. Like,
Same.
it was fine until tabletop started at 7, and then they started at midnight, and now it's like, yeah, we'll just do both.
You're busy from Friday to Saturday because you got F&T, then you got tabletop Saturday morning, which for you, I mean, the big difference.
but
I'm just saying, you just probably don't sleep
on
much on
F&T, I don't-
Saturdays.
Like, F&T, I don't do anything. It's like Saturday.
I
I'm
don't
like,
do
oh,
anything. Mark, thank
No,
you for the
I mean
five.
drink-wise.
No, I know.
I'm not
that-
gonna
You
get
drank
pissed
when
on
I was there
F&T.
last.
You what?
I remember you had something. You were drinking when I was last there.
It
I
might
mean,
have
I'm
been
drinking
milk.
a lot of the
No,
time. There's a difference in drinking and drinking to the point where I'm pissed.
Oh no,
He
you
was
were not
sipping.
pissed.
He was sipping. He's drinking here. He's drinking here.
I'm not even sure I was drinking on the last stream you were on, but
You might
No,
have been.
you were because you held up your glass or something, or I think Gary made a comment. I just vaguely remember it.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe. Mark, thank you
Look,
for the
ever
five.
since I've done YouTube, I've got in
Missed the
trouble
cue,
for
hold on.
drinking. This has literally been the. There is literally this is well known. This isn't a secret. There was a Geeks and Gamers Play stream where Jeremy literally dragged me out on the stream and says, "You can't do this." It's like, wait, what? Why? It's like I've been told you've been drinking too much. I'm like, what? It's like, and so he felt at the end. He was like, he said he felt bad because I was like, well, I don't know what I've done, and he's like, I don't know. I just got told you would
Because you're
like,
chill.
out of
Some
control.
people can't handle
I was
it.
like, no, I don't
You're
think
very
people
chill.
people don't understand what I'm like, and so they're like, oh my god, you must be out of control. It's like, no. There's very few times in my life I've ever been out of control. In fact, I'm really against the people that use drinking and stuff as an excuse.
That's when you know.
It
Right,
lowers
Mongoose.
it lowers your inhibitions. Let alone
Yeah.
like it doesn't make you do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
really.
Mark said, you seem pretty strong, but I took a shower and put on deodorant. So take
Okay.
your shower.
A French shower. They
And thank
invented
you for
perfume for a
two-
reason.
Oh, jeez.
It's the
Savvy, do
French,
you know...
no one
Wait, what is
cares.
that? I'm afraid to say that word. What does it mean?
Squat.
Savvy? Oh,
No,
squat
yes,
cobblering.
I'm terrified to say savvy.
I think we all know what I imagine a squat
is it?
cobbler is a lot like a Cleveland steamer.
I don't know what
Probably.
that. I'm not looking it up.
I'll
I
look
mean,
it up.
Just from the name alone.
Every time I
Look-
look
look,
something, I don't know
No,
if I regret
Savvy,
it.
the entertainment value comes from Wicked looking it up. That's the
Oh,
thing.
okay. I won't read it then.
Yeah, you have to get the most innocent person of the group to look it up. That's what matters.
Hold on. Fine.
This is why side scrollers gets Blabs to look
I'm only
everything
doing
up.
it because
Because
Savvy's
Blabs is
here.
like, I don't know what a Cleveland steamer is.
I
And then,
love
oh,
educating
no.
her, man.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, Blabsy.
I was on the stream once with Melanie Mack and Blabs, and I can't remember what someone asked, but it was gold. And it was, oh no, that was
It
it.
was
Yeah, it was about DP.
Port.
And she was like, it's just Dr. Pepper. It's like, no, I like Dr.
I
Pepper.
thought it was
I'm like,
DisplayPort.
no, Blabs, no. And then
Oh.
I went, that's not what it means. And then at one point, Melanie Mack went, as if she realised, so I'm pissing myself laughing at
They're
this point.
both so cute.
And then you just get Blabs going, oh. And then she reads out what it says. I'm like, I can't believe you just read that out. Like, I wouldn't have read that out. But you're just like, oh, it's it.
Oh
You
It
guys
was
ready?
amazing.
no. Yes, please read.
A squat cobbler is a sexual act where in a fully clothed, typically costumed subject pull his or her pants down and squats the exposed buttocks down into a pie and wiggles around while being observed or filmed, commonly associated with fetishes. I
Nice.
wasn't ready for that. That's not that bad.
That's
That's
actually
so
sounds like
funny.
California, to be
They're
honest.
wholesome.
It's
I like that they had to
she said,
define
it's
that
like,
someone
what,
was
that's
full.
cute.
Yeah, I like this. They had to define someone was fully clothed before they pulled their trousers down. Just in case you weren't sure, you know? Someone might be walking
you
along
don't
the
know.
street naked, and
Remember-
then be like, "Well, he pulled his trousers down." Like, wait, where did he get those
Remember
from?
that-
Did he
that one
steal them off
person-
somebody?
Listen, the people don't know. Remember that one person? She said what made that scene hot between Agatha and whatever Aubrey's
Oh
character's
yeah,
name is.
yeah.
She didn't have clothes on under her robe.
Yes, that was when I became a shipper. I got like
You were
1.5
like,
million
"What?"
views or something. And I had no
What?
idea what happened. But I was
She
like,
wore
yeah,
clothes.
this is so
She's
much
naked
hotter when
under
you
her
realize
clothes.
she's naked under her clothes. Like, wait. So that happened, and then I literally retweeted somebody that's going, the best relationship in this show is like so-and-so and the child. I'm like, no, I ship them. They
No,
deleted
isn't it
their
the
account.
mother-son thing or whatever?
I was like, I ship them. And people were like,
Ship 'em.
you do
And the
realize
guy
they're related,
deleted
right?
his account.
Yeah,
You've
yeah. I'm
gone
like, you
too
do realize.
far.
Well, but this thing, people are like, you do realize they're related. I'm like, he's gay, you bigots. I'm like, there's so many layers of this. If you're like, no,
That's
they're
what they were
related. No,
offended
he's
by.
gay. But,
He's
yes.
gay, and I'm offended by that, not because they're related.
Yes. Whatever you're offended by,
It's
I will
called
choose the opposite.
Winfest. Come on.
Yes. Whatever you choose, I will choose the opposite to take power over you. That's how it works.
Eric, I always say your name wrong. Heffelfinger, right? Heffelfinger.
But you
I
spelled
think I said it
Eric
right.
wrong. He spelled it with a K
Eric,
just to make
Sometimes
sure.
people spell it with a K, maybe just to make you mad. His parents were like, "I want to make this brew mad
You
in
didn't make
20
me
years."
bad.
Mad.
You're the one person
not
that can't
bad.
pronounce the word Eric.
Not Eric. His last name, Heffelfinger.
Heffelfinger.
I got it right. This brew, you need to
There's
calm
only
down.
one way to pronounce it.
For 5, thank you. My favorite part of the Geeks and Gamer people is that no matter what stream they go on, it gets weird.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
we're kind of a dysfunctional, happy little corner of the internet over here, aren't we?
I'm so
Although, to
glad
be
you
fa-
guys
to be-
adopted me.
To be fair, I
Of
didn't know
course.
Savvy was this based. I would have asked her to be on before. The moment she said we need to repeal the 19th, I'm like, that's fine. Great, carry on.
Listen,
Hell
that-
yeah!
he's like,
Anti-democracy.
friend.
Let's go. Let's go.
he's gonna get a tattoo that says Savvy BFF. Also, pour one out for her husband. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
I
probably-
I do piss your husband. He's like, yeah, still like.
If he ever meets
We-
him, he's just gonna hug him. I
we
feel like
need,
this
like,
dude
a
doesn't really
few-
hug,
like,
but he's gonna hug him.
I still think like the husband needs like a brofest funeral. It's like you know.
But bearing a
They
double
did
D
die
bra.
a long time ago, but you know you can still take comfort in what is. But imagine what you could have had, bro. That's the main thing.
Oh my god. I would
There
love
it is.
this.
There it is, Disparu. Dondi Mazza.
Dude, I would love to draw some waifu squatting down into some pie. I think I might do that once my hand
mean,
heals.
I mean,
You
that's
should,
the
and please
penguin.
send
So
it to us. I want to see it or post it. We have to see it.
Yeah.
as long as his
It-
foot was a bit sort of ski whiff, the penguin could do it a bit.
Oh, jeez.
Look,
Eric, thank you for-
Mozza is an Italian gangster because he watched The Penguin, and I can't even remember what the other one was.
He's actually Australian because Savvy doesn't know who he is. He's actually
Okay,
a
yeah,
little,
so
he's
Mo-
like my little brother. He's like, I don't know, 12. Nah, he's in his 20s, but he's actually 12.
Yeah, but what was the
he's
other?
Australian.
It was the guy from Rocky. I can't remember what the series
Tulsa
is.
King. Tulsa King.
Tulsa
so
King.
he wants to be Tulsa
He watched
King
Tulsa
and Penguin.
King and the Penguin, and then said he was an Italian gangster.
I love
And
how
I'm
he
like-
had to message you that because he said before, he's like, I just want to make Disparu proud.
Well, yeah, and I'm like, you do realize neither of those shows are Italian, right? They're both American shows. And he was like, I don't care. I'm gonna take over Italy, and then I'm gonna take over the rest of the world. I'm like, well, you're gonna need the emus on your side. You're in Australia, and it's like, how are you gonna take over the rival gangs in Australia? He said, I'm gonna get pork pies, and I'm gonna take over
think-
the local bakery, and then bribe them with a cheeky pie and sausage rolls.
That's so cute.
I think Savvy would actually love Mazza.
You would like Mozza for all of the right reasons.
yeah.
Mm.
Mozza is like the little demented child that you wish you had.
Oh, one of them.
Loses his shoes, gets kicked out of
Mazza-
bakeries, you know.
Mozza is unironically the one person I hope really succeeds in life and becomes like a multi-billionaire because I just want to see what he does with it. So I want him to like lead a country or become a multi-billionaire or become really successful just to see what on earth Mozza would do with that level of power. Can you imagine Mozza with Elon Musk? And he's like, no, I think we
They'd
should just
be
launch
best freaking friends, probably.
we should
to
just
be
launch a
honest.
rocket at the sun. And he's like, why? We could try and put it out. And I'm like,
Just
wait,
launch
what?
it.
I mean, like, no, I think we should put out the sun. I said, well, maybe.
Yes, bring us to the sweet end
It's
sooner.
like, well, it can solve
He'd
all
be
the
like,
problems
"F
with
the
it. He's like, no, Mozza. And you have to like restrain him, like from firing the missile at the sun. It's like, it'd be great.
Eric, thank you for being a member for 10 months. Savvy, you were very human and touching on Project Eggroll. Many of us were surprised that these degenerates were so cool. What about you
The
guys?
conversation was degenerate, so I don't know what humanized me.
I love those guys. They're awesome.
It's so
I've-
sweet.
They are. Master
I think they
Ga-
asked me how I ended
Gawa-
up on FNT, and I think I just waffled her out some random topic that was just in my head at the time, and then I never answered the question. I was like, oh, okay. I'm pretty sure he asked the question twice, and then I only realized I never answered it the first time.
Okay, you get stuck in the disparate queue yourself. It
Yes.
happens. Master Goa, thank you
But,
for the 5.
I hit a point, and I'm like,
Hoyoverse?
I don't know
Is that
how
right?
much
Hoyoverse.
I'm supposed to. Yeah,
Hoyoverse?
Hoyoverse is
He came back to
the
it.
mobile games.
Oh, okay. Understands you hook people by making them want your characters. Woke devs can't figure this out. Foot sim savvy, put on pants, she went woke.
But
Mhm.
pimp, not simp.
If it's any point you're clothed from like the waist down, you're woke. That's how it works.
Well, so I believe that pants, they restrict the creative
Repression.
process.
Yes,
It's-
pants are oppression.
They are. They are. They are a form of
Repression.
oppression. They are a form of society inflicting its bullshit on me. God damn
Yes.
it.
Oh, we both
How
got it
dare
wrong.
they?
You thought it said McLicking. I think I said McLiking. And he's like,
McLoving it. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
This is
he
not
was
even-
using
you
like
did
the
not say that.
stereotypical advert of I'm loving it, and you were like, no.
No, it said McLiking it. It said McLiking.
I thought so.
I mean,
I
I'm
will
still the
put
kind of
my life on the line.
I still think that we should sell hurricane names as adverts.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine like Hurricane Dan is like coming into Florida, or you're like Hurricane, I'm loving it. It's gonna take out California, and you're like, well, because then you could
Hurricane
take
Ronald McDonald.
exactly. You could take the advertising revenue and put it into the recovery campaign. So you could literally have like Hurricane
Hurricane
Toshiba has just wiped out Washington. I'm like, this is amazing. Why have we never done this before?
Savvy's bean for $1.99. Hello, panel and chat. 4 a.m. where the sun. Oh, it's 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
Where the sun don't shine.
I know. Is that you trying to say that's where they are? I don't know. I got
No,
confused.
he's just spelling it phonetically so you could pronounce it easier.
Brim. Okay, got it. Thank you for the 199. And
why people
Raider
say
dropping 7563.
Saucy.
I haven't played any
We're gonna-
clips.
We're gonna paint the
Oh,
town red.
Thank you, Raider. Every time he loves saying that. It's the
No,
favorite
it's,
thing to say.
it's my favorite clip that's ever been shown on
Raider
YouTube.
super chats. Mark, thank
Raider
you for
was the one that
5.
caused it.
I know
every
Raider
time.
was causing chaos. I was told that whiskey was made from Jack Daniels. Thanks for making fun of us, okay?
No,
'Cause we
Jack
know what
Daniels
tequila
isn't
was.
whiskey. Jack Daniels is like what? Don't they even Jack Daniels call it sour mash? Even they don't call it whiskey.
Jack Baggins is just white woman drunk liquid. That's it. If you're a dude still
California.
drinking Jack Daniels, like unironically, like the basic bitch Jack Daniels, if you
No.
are a Jack Daniels drinker, you got no,
That's
you're not getting
fine.
any pussy. Yeah, that's not Jack Daniels. So you must
To
get
be fair
pussy.
though, this is pretentious. It says luscious nectar, and
I
that's
know
why
what
I bought
got
it.
too.
I literally bought it because I'm like, that's so pretentious. I need to try what it tastes like. I'm like, no, this is my favorite whiskey.
I like my cup because it's got a little ghost and it says here for the booze and it's a cute little ghost.
Yeah, but you're supposed
Cheers.
to that glass
Well, I've
is
never
designed
had
that you
before.
warm
I
it
should
up.
try that beer.
Kona's delicious.
Is it? I
So
gotta
that
try
glass
it.
would be
I'm new
good
to
for
beer.
rum. You're supposed to like warm it with your hand. That's what it's designed for.
I put whatever I want to drink in here.
That's very
That
very
works too.
female of you. Yeah, it's just like, what's
Thanks.
this glass for? Whatever I put in it.
I had a sippy cup for whiskey
Ah,
back on my
Is that
jazz
because you
days.
get so pissed that
cute.
you'd spill it?
No, I just thought it would be funny.
a whiskey cup.
Yeah,
Respect.
even a
I don't know. I
whiskey
tried to
cup.
say something slick there, didn't work. Choloma. See, this is another new one. Okay, why does they do the face swap and it always works? Hey, Savvy, I heard you fell down the stairs, Chica, but I hear you're part vampire, so you should make a fast recovery.
My hand's still not working proper. It's so
Aw.
painful.
Oh, you actually fell? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I actually did. My dog sort of tried to kill me. I jacked up the entire right side of my body.
Ooh.
I don't care about anything else. I don't care if my ankle might be broken. Don't give a shit. All I care about
What
is my
about
right
the feet
hand.
pics?
What?
The feet pics.
What about them?
Wait, like I don't care if my ankle's swollen up. It's like, well, the people that watch the feet pics might.
Well, no, because they're the feet, not the ankle.
Oh, I don't care whether I broke my ankle as long as the foot is fine.
Yeah, the foot's
Covered up
perfectly
with
fine.
the foot is perfect. It's fine. The money maker is okay.
Oh my god, that picture. Beardo's banana for 10. Straighten up.
Oh, that's a nice ass.
Here, I'll let you could read a couple disprove. X-Ray's not here, so you could take over.
That
and
was
read a
my
few for
favorite
me.
thing. Like, I like that scientists just research the most ridiculous things. So they're never like, should we work out how we should cure cancer? It's like, no, I want to learn how many fruit pastels it takes to choke a kestrel. They just come up with the most random things in the world. And one of them was, do men like a big ass? Or do they just like the angle of the ass? And it took, no, they just like the angle. So if you like have a deformed spine, it still counts. And I'm like, well, you know, that's kind of inclusive when you think about it.
Can you read the next few disprove? I'll pull them up.
Al Yani of Hyrule for $2. Gen 6 mentioned, Savvy, do you feel better?
No, but thanks for
Aw.
asking.
Maxed Musterman for €5. Wicked. If you would be a rapper, your name would be Lil Lasagna.
I love lasagna.
I like a Rudai. It's literally just like Lil Rudai.
Lil
Because
Rudai.
apparently he rolled for how big he is, and he got like 3%. Whereas my rat that I literally held up as a joke, I'm like, can this just rule like the kingdom? And he was like, that's going to be a character from now on. So that rat ruled for it, and it rolled. I think it rolled like 47%. Then I got to re-roll to 56%. They got 97%. That rat has a balance problem, and I think everyone's happy for it. Mad Master Porky, member for 5 months. Hail to the paddle. Nice to see you've managed to get old piss hands on.
What?
So that's a name because I piss like or I race like a piss horse. That's what I
was going to say, if you piss like a racehorse would actually be more impressive.
Yeah, but no, so it takes me about like less than 20 seconds to go from the bathroom, which is literally
Well, that is
right
piss like a
un-
racehorse.
Yeah. So it's like behind my monitors, the bathroom. And then I say, okay, Chad, I'll be right back. You know, gotta go to the bathroom. And then, you know, wash my hands, but I'm done within 20 seconds. And then I come
it's
back.
faster. If you wash your hands in the pee, it's faster.
No,
Ew.
It's a Twitch
the
joke. It's an
water's
old
already
Twitch
on,
joke.
like, as I'm peeing, like I'm prepared. I'm literally prepared to just, you know, come back. I'm very dedicated to streaming. All right. I don't want there to be just my chair for 5 minutes. All right. I'm not like some of these other. I'm not Beardo who does, you know,
You
2
don't just
hours,
put
6 hour
Mauler on.
breaks on 24-hour
He sure
stream.
does.
You
He's
play
like,
a
"I'm gonna go
Mauler
24
video, you're
hours.
like,
Be
it's
back in 8
fine.
hours."
Yeah, it's like, I've got 5 hours. This will be fine. You know, he's probably halfway through then. But that was the whole
Sandy
thing.
Sweeney. Is that? Did they put your
Oh,
face on
yeah,
her?
yeah.
Yeah, what could have been. There was a whole old Battlefield like cartoon animated series where the guy who was like the top rank in the Battlefield franchise said he cut a hole in his chair and just put a bucket underneath. Like,
Yep.
how am I supposed to play the game if I'm on the toilet? I've
I
mastered it.
support that. Are you kidding me? Back in my WoW days, I should have done that, honestly. Thought about it. What,
No,
dudes have
no.
to bottle, but like women can bottle too. All right, I figured it out.
Now I
Got it all figured
understand
out.
why you were like, I never thought I'd get a husband. It's like, oh, okay. Now,
like, I
now
get
when
it.
you're going into the ancient WoW lore of having a piss bucket, I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. This makes sense.
Fair enough.
It's like, it's surprising you even met him in the first place. It was like,
That
This
wasn't
one's a
actually
keeper.
the reason why
I-
I thought I'd never
it was,
get
it
married.
was like the second date. You were like, I introduced him to my piss bucket. It was like, well, you know,
And he knew I was the one that matched me.
that's when I knew I need to marry her.
Jake, thank you
She
for
was
the
just
two.
like me for real, for real.
Savvy is the best addition to G&G since Beardo. Aw. Alani, thank you for another 2. Madam Savvy can do the work that's needed. It's true.
That came from just what I said about the doing the foot job thing. I said something along the lines of my thighs were strong enough to get the
Oh.
job done or something. To
Is that
put
one
it
of the
on
best
work.
additions since
I was thinking,
Beardo also meant? Is like, hey, you should see Beardo's thighs, I tell you.
What?
They-
No, he skips leg day.
I
I've
don't
heard.
know the Beardo lore. All the Beardo lore I know comes from Mike. Like, I only know Beardo lores via Mike streams.
That's so funny.
Like, Mike will just watch Beardo streams in his stream. I'm like, because you get the whole Twitch thing where it's like, we'll watch videos, but then
Yeah.
half of Mike's stream is just watching Beardo stream within Mike's stream. I'm like, how
That's
meta does
actually
this get
genius.
before it becomes weird? Like, I'm not sure.
Llama
At one-
pajamas.
At one point, I remember they were playing a game together, and Beardo had Mike stream up in his stream, and Mike had Beardo stream up in his stream, and they were both talking to each other's chats. I'm like, this is way too meta at this point.
That's awesome.
Savvy purposely losing her boobs will be known as the flattening. Sad times,
Yeah.
guys.
That was the time the apocalypse could no longer be averted.
I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my gosh, there's more
They'll
Savvy.
be like, hey, look, there's an asteroid coming. If only we had something roughly the
To
size of a
cushion
double
them.
D to like divert the things. It's like, no, there's nothing. That's it.
Master Kawa, the Savvy, the unshaved bush lore started boring, but it gets better when we introduce fire. Now it's gonna get
Mhm.
biblical. I'm still blind from seeing.
Well, that's always the
Thank
thing,
you for
isn't
the
it? It's
five.
like if you get a burning sensation when you pee, like it could be one of like a few things. It could be a bushfire. It could be someone talking about your vagina, or it could be cystitis.
Or it's biblical.
Oh, it's the biblical
So many
apocalypse.
options. Ed, thank you for the 2. Savvy, what is your dad from Mega City 1? Oh, when we were
Oh.
talking about the band
That's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in Mega City 1. I imagine in Mega City 1, your dad could be anybody.
Dude, my dad is such a badass. Like, my earliest memory is him playing Duke Nukem and Doom. And I guess my mother came in horrified because I'm sitting there saying, shoot him, daddy, shoot him. Like, oh my fucking God.
Now we know who's responsible.
Oh yeah. My dad is responsible for like 100% of my personality. My poor mother, she raised me. My dad wasn't around as much because he was doing school and work. And then anytime he was there, it's like I just absorbed him like a sponge. And it was,
Aw.
It
I'm
was
a hot
good.
mess.
And then he looked forward and said, yes, this is good.
Jadine, thank you for the $4.99. What about Dog Face Pony Soldier? What's that?
I imagine it comes from Dog
feel-
Soldier, which was the
It was an hour ago,
Brit-
so I feel bad. Some of these topics we
Dog
passed on and
Soldier
we're like,
was
huh?
the British film of like people turning into werewolves. But I don't know about Pony Soldier.
I don't know.
If you have a
Well,
dog
glad you
face,
threw
obviously
into
it's not a compliment.
it. Ed again for
For
5
some
cents.
reason, women
Savvy's-
like pugs. I don't know why. I think women liking pugs is the same reason they like that ugly comedian. Like Kate Beckinsale shagged that really, really ugly. I can't remember his name is.
Who's the really ugly one?
He's very famous.
Pete
If I say
Davidson, he's
shag the
great.
ugly comedian, everyone will know who I mean, but I don't know his name.
So Pete Davidson? Like,
Yeah,
Pete
that's
Dav-
where
there you go. See,
Is she
that's
really?
the one description everybody knows.
the ugly comedian, and we're like,
Yes,
ah, okay.
everybody
because he
knows
gets
it's Pete
around,
Dav-
man.
Pete Davidson is the pug of people. It is
He's a-
literally, well, you know,
It's a fair
I have depth,
description.
really. This is literally well, I'm not just after how they look. I go for other talents. It's like, you know, that guy's going to be 10 foot long. He's got to be.
that
He
just
has a
sounds
balance
so
problem.
tiring.
Well, I
He's-
think he could
he's-
hold up the Eiffel Tower on his own.
Probably. He'd have to.
Mm-hmm. Got to make up for it somewhere.
Savvy's
I-
dead.
I-
Eat recycled food.
he's
It's
the
good for the
pug of
environment
people.
and okay for you.
No.
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 I've got to be. I don't care about the environment. I never have. It's like I don't.
It corrects itself.
Well, I mean,
you-
it's their problem. It's like, well, stop crapping in a river, you degenerates. Like we at least crap into a thing. Like if you crap into a river, that's your own fault. Oh no, our river's full of crap. We'll stop crapping in it then. You filthy people.
Filthy. Can you read this one, this brew, please?
Yeah,
Your
we
boy Mossa for $1.99. Okay, this is something Mossa does, just so we're all aware.
He goes,
He goes, savvy. Your big feet stare tripping home.
That's adorable.
Like for random, he do. I don't know why.
He just randomly goes,
It does.
You're
Yeah,
like,
it's like yeah, like Mission Impossible 5 best movie. It's like I don't know.
He's like your favorite waifu having struggles thinking.
There's definitely
That
trouble
works.
thinking. I'm not sure about your favorite wife.
It's triple thinking. Master Goa for 2. Thank you. Bully Savvy harder. I approve of it, and women need it.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to bully
bullying should be
someone who
brought
said
back.
repeal the 19th. I don't know where to go
He's
from
like,
there.
he's like, I don't know what to do.
I'm like, we agree. We're basically a straight line at this point.
Here, I got your here. Rhino sent me so you can see who you want to see who Mazza is.
Mm-hmm.
He's drunk here, so
Okay.
he's full Mazza here. This was at Blabs went to Australia and hung out with the Australians. And Maz's back here, drunk.
That's Rhino.
That
Oh, Mozza, read that.
He's so
Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fuck?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mozza.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mozza.
He does come off like adoptable because he's sitting there on the floor.
Yes.
He needs to be
Mo-
taught basic.
Mozza is the one person. I don't care anyone. Look, anyone else, you're on your own. I want Mozza to succeed in life, and I don't care how. I don't care whether he takes over a country by force. I don't
That
care
was
whether he gets
Mazzacon.
We
promoted
need
to
to get
lead
him
the
to be
stock
the next
market.
crypto success story. We need to put him in some shitcoin.
If
Yeah, he
somebody
needs-
said, yeah, exactly. I want Mozza to be that guy. What's he called? Silicon Valley. There's the one guy that
Yeah.
doesn't do anything, and he just becomes really rich for investing in the crappiest thing. He's like, I just have all this
Yes.
money. I don't know how I'm gonna do anything. I want Mozza. Like, if someone's like the one world president you would have, I'd Mozza. I just want to see what happens. I don't care if it's a disaster. I want to see what happens if he rules the world.
Oh my
It's gonna be
God.
I look
golden.
blind. I always have to look in on it because they're so little. Dontarius Mazza. Marjo for show. See?
I had to quickly change the names. I don't know why the name Marge. That was a real story, by the way. Like, I hated office life. There was so much cheating. The
much
CEO
drama.
was sleeping with the secretary while he's got a wife at home.
Based.
You should make
Why else is he going to hire a secretary? If he wanted work
Amen.
done, he'd hire a man. It's like, this is pointless.
Amen. But they were so catty. Like, fuck, just shut up. I want to fix the
She's
website
like,
and
"Let
then
me-
go home.
let me do my work and leave. Shut up. Yeah, I get that. Lord Botha for $4.99. The Lighthouse is old style and filming, but is super weird and abstract. The type of film that makes a lot more sense in an altered state of mind. Probably.
It's not even that old.
Well,
But
no,
I
they
Google
filmed
it.
it's from 2019, so it's not old, but it was
2019.
set
It's just
in,
black and white.
yeah. Well, it was set in 1852, so they tried to make it like really get that vibe, and it worked.
They do realize that 1852 wasn't black and white, right?
I don't know.
Like that's just the camera technology that
Yeah.
they didn't have in 1852.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted it to look like it was filmed in 18. I mean, it obviously
ha-
looked a lot worse, but like with our
Well,
quality,
no,
I
I
don't
mean they
know.
didn't have cameras in 1852 anyway, so I'm not even. This is what I mean, right? If people look at things from their own perspective and just assume everything else is the same. It's like, oh, well, you know, I've seen footage of 1970. It was in black and white, so this must have been as well. It's like, no, history was like the Romans didn't have camera technology in black and white, but I bet a load of people think they do.
Did you see the interview when the lady was doing an interview and was searching for why someone should be excited for her game? It was laugh-inducing. Oh,
I mean, what game?
the well, since we're behind in super chats, the oh my god,
But the Unknown Nine.
Unknown Nine,
Awakening?
yes,
Yeah.
that's. I definitely believe that.
They gave the game away for free, and they couldn't even get more than 200 people to play.
What
it's like
was it on
AMD
when you checked
CPUs?
earlier? Like
And
It was on
130?
CPUs and GPUs.
And if you look
my
at all the
God.
reviews, like
They're all
all
from
the
free
reviews
people.
that I saw were just, I got this free from my CPU. And it was like, oh. okay.
Whiskey. He drinks whiskey. He's gonna show the bottle.
Yeah.
One time,
There you
because
go.
he keeps his empty bottles and like they obviously, you know, fill up. He knocked him over once and we just heard
This one's
clinking
empty.
like so loud, and he was like, "Sorry, he knocked over all my empty."
I've still got them. They haven't gone anywhere.
He's like, "They're still. They didn't break. I kept them."
Yeah.
All right, Master Gawa for 2. Thank you. Men aren't positive. Devs aren't men. Confirmed. He's just showing off.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
an
going to show you
intriguing
empty.
one.
Just going to show
What is
you
that?
empty bottles.
Is that more whiskey? Is that a different one?
This is Clarkson's Farm beer.
Oh,
You got
yeah,
Carson's
you guys.
Farm beer?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
wanna
Well,
try
I've,
it. Him
I've
and
tried
X-Ray
this,
talk
their
about it
cider,
so
and their
much.
lager. It's
How's
all
the
nice.
cider?
It's really sweet. The reason why I like the
Mm.
beer is because it doesn't have like preservatives and crap in it.
Yeah.
So the cider still has like phosphates and stuff. The cider still gives me hangovers because of that reason.
Aw.
Well, I used to only drink cider,
Yeah.
and then I went to Germany. I was like, hang on, why don't I have a hangover? This is really weird. And then I asked loads of German people. I was like, I don't know why this happened. They're like, no, our beer doesn't have preservatives and crap
Yeah.
in it. It's just pure beer.
Yeah, my
Um,
husband will say. So my husband's he's still a German citizen. He's born in Germany. And he hates
The best beer I've ever had is from Germany for that
Yeah,
very reason.
Really?
yeah, he hates American beer because of what
Yes.
it does.
I never realized like how awful my hangovers were, and it's just because of the crap they put in 'em.
I've never tried
Mhm.
German beer. I would love to.
Oh, you have to. That and Polish beer too. The Polish vodkas are better, but the Polish beer isn't too bad. And then they have a lot of like lemon beers where like it's kind of like a beer mixed with lemonade sort of. But they
That sounds
didn't
interesting.
Yeah, it's
The,
it's really good.
the best Oktoberfest I've seen is a woman with like she hadn't had hers reduced, and so she said like it was a system
Damn.
of wine. It's a bit like the dolphin thing, and she had like two like weird things that she'd pull, and it controlled a pint in front of her, and she was supposed to drink from the pint without using her hands.
Oh, was
And
it on her
obviously-
back?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah,
it-
it's like it's like an entire pulley system off her
Oh
back
my
forwards.
gosh.
And so she
That
has to
sounds very
tip it
German.
properly to get it to a thing. Well, the entire point is it's meant to be impossible, and so it just pours it all over your breath. Like that's really the point.
He's like,
And
I
so
like
she
that
almost
contraption.
gets it, and then she like, poof, and everyone's like, "Ah!" It's like,
Yay,
Mm.
boom.
yeah,
Dogs
We are a
against
simple
Mike.
people.
here we are.
What's
We
it-
are. This is
what
what
did
everyone's
Mike
like.
do?
I'm so unique. I'm so no. You're just the same as everyone else that's been the same for thousands of years, and that's what makes you good. The fact that your beliefs have survived thousands of years means they're correct, and you like 24-year-old you isn't smart enough to come over thousands of years of evolution. You cretin.
You haven't
Fucking
said
face.
Crenton in a while.
I say cretin in my videos a lot because it's
You
one of the
do, but I mean, on
it's
stream you
it's
haven't
one of
said
the
that in a
words that
while.
YouTube doesn't know, and so I'm just like, okay, I'll just use old words that are too smart for you.
Ed,
But-
thank you for the
oh,
five. Savvy looked up female drivers in China. Some don't know how to reverse cars. One of them drove kilometers in the wrong direction on the highway.
Women are not far off from that here in America, dude. That's all I gotta
I was
say.
saying, you said women.
Yeah.
That was the I can't remember. I think it was a Rudai, and no, it was Sevi, not Savvy. Came in and said, so that she made a whole D&D campaign about how a woman had come in from outer space and reverse parked with a rocket. I'm like, that no one could believe this. Like you what? Like we can suspend our disbelief so far. Like we can have sort of magical wheelchairs and orcs, and we can have magic system. That no one's gonna believe you can reverse park from space.
Yeah.
That's a line.
I draw the line there.
Yeah. That is literally my line. I can have magic wheelchairs, but no.
Mark, thank you for the 10. That was an awesome Savvy rant. FYI, Ryan Kinnell has also made statements in support of repealing the 19th. I'm shocked. Maybe you two could get together a great political movement. Just an idea.
Maybe we run for president. Who knows?
Savvy and Kinnell 2026, because, 2025 is like over. We'll see.
Wait, what? Why 2026? Wait, this is the election year. It would be 2020.
2025.
In 2 years, are you
It's
going to stage
true.
a coup?
No, but
A specific coup in
It's the
2
only way
years.
to get rid of the
it's
19.
the
Yeah.
only way. It's the only way to do it. You gotta catch them off guard.
Wicked's going to come in with like
Like, I baked cookies. Don't you want this life?
she's going to have like a tinfoil helmet on. It's like the globalists are coming for us in 2026.
Foil helmet. No one's gonna
Savvy's
see
our
me 'cause
only
they can't
hope
see
to
me in
save the
future.
world. This is the time the Terminator arrives. Savvy, you know what to do.
Exactly. Durag Vince. $4.99. I remember Marge, best body slam in the business, good wrestling skills too.
God damn it.
Oh my gosh. Janine, thank you for the $4.99. I want to create a religion called Church of the Carnivores.
I like how he had to put a space in create because you thought like YouTube would ban the word. It's like, no creativity on YouTube.
Yeah. Gary, thank you for the 10. Savvy, the people who argued for if women should vote were the suffragettes and anti-suffragettes, with both groups consisting of suffragettes. Oh, geez, sorry. With both groups consisting of rich,
Well,
married,
one of them
white.
threw themselves under a horse. I mean, to me, that should be the
rescue.
first idea that you shouldn't have any power. It's like, she's stupid enough to throw herself under a
Too much
horse.
time and
That's
energy.
it.
Yeah, it's true. But Savvy was right that nobody wanted them, so they're like, all right,
Well,
mess it up for everyone else.
The genuine reason why was because you'd have to be drafted. That was why. So then they made a special exception.
Scientists
It's less
have
entertaining, though.
hoisted the sneaky effort theory. Theory goes that the goon mates with the female while the alpha is away. Thus, he mates in secret.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's literally observed in monkeys all the time.
There's quite a few things. It's observed in
Yeah.
lions as well. There was a whole idea in like lion mating where they thought they would just go with the most dominant person, and then they found out while the lion was out hunting, she'd just be having it off with everybody. Like, but she would always do it in secret behind things. The whole thing about sugar and spice and everything nice. No, it's like, and we've always known it, but it's a nice thing to believe. It does really well in movies.
It does. It's a nice little. I don't know where I was going with that.
Then you find
Master
out about
Go-
lions.
about
One of my
lions.
favorite things is like this is the lion doing the mating ritual, and it's just her bending over in front of the lion, and she's like just slouching on him in various different positions. And he's like,
I love it when someone light savvy. I didn't read that before I started. Light
it's not the text. I'm going to Savvy's reaction.
Savvy's tampon on fire when she catches the spark. Her angry rants are amazing. I agree with Savvy. Repeal the 19th. I just wasn't ready for that. I usually read a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
mean-
ahead, and I didn't that time, so I was caught off guard.
I don't
Master
e- I don't
Go is a spicy one there. Really,
spicy,
really
yes.
supports bullying women.
It's great.
It is a bit
I
Mission
support that.
Impossible though. Like if you remember the introduction to Mission Impossible, it's just like the threads that set on fire leading to the Diamondite. It's like, well, you know,
Yes.
there's a lot of similarities there. So, oh no.
Mark, thank you for the 10. I've represented a lot of psychopaths in a lot of courtrooms, and I have honestly believed that blank stares because parts of their brains have been burned out with homemade narcotics. Yeah.
That's a different conversation from just a basic psychopath, though. There are two. There is some crossover, but not. There's literal psychopaths, not drug created ones.
Think like
And a
Jeffrey
psychopath
Dahmer,
doesn't mean
right?
low
As far as
IQ.
we know,
No.
he didn't do drugs. He was just a psycho.
if
That's
you
an
go
example of a
into-
popular one.
They've measured like doctors, lawyers, teachers, basically any high power position has an way over indexed version of psychopaths. Psychopathy isn't necessarily a negative thing. It means that you don't really associate with other people via emotions and stuff, but that isn't negative, and you can learn how to basically fake the emotions, and that's generally what they do. So you can kind of imitate the general social norms, but it doesn't mean that you're like necessarily evil or anything. You could use that power for good, but a lot of it does mean that they seek like positions of power and stuff.
Yep.
Same thing with
Justin,
autism, though. They kind of build a living
I was like,
simulation
same thing.
of. Well, no, it is like
I know.
to
what
be
you mean.
a well-adapted autist means that you basically build a simulation of human behavior in your own head, which is why all of the really adaptable autists are very high IQ, because they had to have a high enough IQ to simulate human behavior inside their own head, because they can't understand it, so they have to work out the mechanics of it.
God, I love psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Savvy don't need those huge mommy milkers when she got boy hips. Good call, Savvy. You may have parkoured into the right decision after all. Justin.
Look, I mean, once you've got a husband, it doesn't matter anyway. At that point, you've kind of won the game, and so it's like, well, who cares at that point? Everything I
here's
did, I
another
still ended
one.
up at the same position.
We have Kim Jung Maza for $4.99.
Oh,
Savvy.
I've got
I
to full
have...
screen this one. Hang on.
Go ahead. You read this one. You want to read this one? Go
Kim
ahead.
Jong Moz. Wait, because you want me to get nuked? Is that why? You're like, oh, this is definitely going to insult him. I'm going to have
What?
secret agents after me.
I'll do it. I have an extensive
She's
Yao.
like, no, she wants secret agents after her.
What is that? Yowie?
Yeah, Yowie.
collection? Don't ask why. That you are welcome to look at should you visit the Superior Korea.
Excellent. I await to the library.
Alpha Omega for 2. Take her to Japan in the summer. It'll be hilarious.
It's terrible. But I would suffer through all the pain. So I'm allergic to UV radiation. I actually cannot be out in the sun for more than a few minutes without
I was
it-
going to say, you mean the sun? I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. But so, well,
are you
it's
okay
all,
with the sun in winter?
So I can be out there a little bit longer, but because of the way that it works, and if it's snowed, and it's super reflective,
So
then
basically
it's
through
even
clouds
worse.
and stuff. You're okay.
Yeah. So there's really nowhere safe. I need that 30 days of night bullshit.
Aw.
I mean, that would
I'm
make you,
sorry.
like, if you were born in England, you probably wouldn't even realize that you had that problem in the first place. You wouldn't even see enough sun
It just
to
rains there
cover-
all the time.
But yeah, like America, if you were in like Texas, you're kind of screwed. It's like,
Yeah,
no, I just stay
yep.
inside. This is
Well,
me
and I
now.
grew up in Texas, so it
Oh
is hard.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna be rough.
I only developed this actually a couple years ago when I was 27.
How'd you develop? Like,
So
not
I
liking-
took, so I got really sick, and then I had a business trip that I needed to make, which I obviously didn't fucking make. And they gave me Tamiflu, and they said, "Oh, this will clear up your symptoms, and you'll be able to fly in a few days." No, I had every possible reaction that you can have. I had the hallucinations. I got more of a fever. I was vomiting, very, very bad. When I called them a few weeks later to report it, they literally sounded fucking scared who I talked to and swept it under the fucking rug.
Fears.
You cannot find any single report of what I fucking said. And I'm not the first person to have that experience either.
Wow, that's freaking crazy.
There
I never
is
even heard of
literally-
that stuff.
Well, there's a tick that if it bites you, you become allergic to meat.
Oh,
You
my
Yes.
have to become a vegetarian. There's a lot of really weird side effects you can get, things like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is why my entire thing has been, if I don't need it to, like, if I'm dying, okay, whatever. But
Yep.
otherwise, I'd rather just take the effects. Yeah.
Whatever, I'm dying. Sprue.
Well, yeah, well, it's like, what else? Like, the side effects can't be worse than just death, right? But apart from
Yeah.
that, like, if I have a headache and people are like, why don't you take this? I'm like, no. I'd rather suffer with the natural consequences that I've caused myself rather than anything else.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody in chat said could be worse, could be allergic to water. So the specialist who I saw actually oversaw people who were allergic to water. But one of
After
the
taking
weird
that
things.
drug?
I thought that just killed you. Like,
Or
how
just-
on earth?
No. So if you if you shower, you can be allergic. When you have the water
But you have to
allergy,
drink it.
you'll have hives. When it comes to drinking, I think it processes it differently. But she didn't have
Oh.
reactions when she drank it. But I
Oh, wow.
actually, for about a year, I couldn't take hot showers because I couldn't raise my body temperature. Otherwise, I would develop hives wherever I was warm.
Wow.
So
That's-
like winter was hard, so like I couldn't bundle up, because then I would just break out. and
See, I
hive.
would have thought that'd be easier.
Wow.
You'd think it'd be like, yeah, once you hit a certain temperature, not just once you increase it at all.
Well, in winter, when you bundle up, your body heat stays in there. So
yeah.
it's, yeah.
Well, yeah, but you'd think you'd, like, from your body's, you would just keeping it, like, level all the way along because everything got colder, so you keep your body at the same temperature. Whereas it seems like it's more like it is literally increasing it. So if you're in freezing temperatures, it's like, well, no, I just want to freeze to death. That's
Yeah,
wild.
it was very strange. It was a strange few years of a lot of getting rid of stuff in my diet, trying to figure out what was wrong, and then the specialist just
Yeah.
going,
Yeah, I've not anything like that, but I've had a lot of issues. I had nerve issues in my arms. I've still got nerve issues in my arms, but I had them really bad where it was basically like fire running all the way up my arm, all the way.
Oh,
did
For
they
3
ever
years.
give you a tricyclic acid type of pill? So there's special.
No, because I live in the UK where we don't have medical care. We get told to live with it because it's expensive.
Oh,
they just give you
So
a band-aid. And
If you
like,
have free healthcare, you don't have healthcare. So
Very
the most
true.
I had was a and to be fair, no problem with the guy himself. He tried to do the best he can. It's like a physiotherapist who was basically like, well, we can give you these stretches, and they did help.
Yeah.
But he also told me that the problem you're describing can't exist. I'm like, well, it clearly exists because I have it. And it's like I felt, like I brought it on myself. It was still gaming issues. It was RSI essentially kind of issues. But what happened was the nerves got so tight that if I moved my arms, they would move because they weren't long enough to go down my arm. And so they would move inside my arm and I could feel them. And then once they're in the wrong position, well, now it just gets irritated all the time. So it feels like liquid fire running up the arm is the best I can describe it. And he went, no, they can't move. But I felt them move. And so I reached a point where I was like, I literally decided, and it broke up a relationship because I was like, nobody can know what you're going through. You have to go through it anyway. But I decided, I still remember the night I decided that I wanted my arms amputated because it was that bad. And I put them with for years. And I decided that I was either going to snap the nerve in my arm or get them amputated. So that night, I was like, I'm going to force them into the right position. And I literally got them like static and just forced them back.
yeah.
And they improved. So they're still not perfect, but they're a lot better. But ever since then, I've been like, no, I'm not having anything. Everything I've ever
I
been
don't blame
given
you.
from a doctor is worse than
Wow.
anything else.
Damn. So if you were in America and you went to the specialist that I did, so back when I was 22, I ended up getting a spinal rotation. My L4 is rotated 30 degrees, and that ripped the nerve endings that reach around to my stomach. But we didn't know at the time that that's what was causing it. And so shortly after I had a tumble off of a step ladder, I started getting 5 to 7 day long stomach pains that were so bad, like my stomach was being set on fire. We thought it was like reoccurring appendicitis. I had every single scan that you could have. A doctor, even at the end of it, said, "Well, there's no reason to give you a colonoscopy because you're so young." I insisted on that. I'm glad I did because it ended up saving my life from a completely unrelated issue. It turns out I had polyps in my colon that would have turned cancerous within a year.
Ooh.
So I actually wouldn't
Wow.
be here if I didn't mess up my spine. But then I saw a specialist in DC for that, and she said, "Oh, you have abdominal migraines." And so they put me on an antidepressant.
I didn't even know that was a thing. It was like migraines you just think in your head all the
Yeah.
time. I didn't
Yeah.
know you could have them anywhere
No,
else.
so it's called an abdominal migraine because of the way that the nerves flare. But I
Yeah.
guess you could potentially have them anywhere. And so in a sense, you had arm migraines. But what they did was they put me on an antidepressant that was developed in the 80s that wasn't very good at combating depression. But what they found was the tricyclic family, there's 3 of them, they served other purposes. So the one that I was put on when I was 22, it actually kills your sense of pain in your nerves. So I can put my hand now on a hot stove and I won't know that my skin's on fire.
Oh yeah, I had those. Yeah. You know your funny bone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, I pulled my funny bone, the nerve, out of my arm, and it was over there. Because it popped out, and so I was like, well, maybe it feels like because it felt wrong. So I was
But
like,
it's
well,
got to
maybe
be
it
so
feels like it needs
cool
go
though
over
to
here.
experience that.
Well, then your arm, like it's like liquid fire. That's the good bit. But when it goes numb, you're like, oh, this
This is the end.
no, this feels like my hand is dying. And so
Yeah.
you're like, okay. So I literally got used to holding my arms. And even now, when I walk along, people are like, well, you hold yourself weird. And that's because I'm used to, I could only hold my arms in one position.
Oh my
And
god.
so I walk along holding my arms like a, you know, the bodybuilders where their arms are
Yeah,
really
yeah,
bulky
yeah.
and they can't, that's how I walk just because that's the, like the nerve issue.
That's
Where it
crazy.
was. Yeah.
Dude, the bodies are weird.
Yeah, it literally liquid fire is the best description I've ever had, and
So
I could feel. This is why when it's like it moved, it was like no, I could feel it was here, and now I can feel it's here. It's like no, you can't do that. It's like, well, I can. You're telling me that what I'm feeling is not real. I know it's real. It's like,
Yeah, there's some good doctors, some bad ones.
yeah, well, I have no problem that the physiotherapist was right. Stretching did help, and that was
Yeah.
probably the original cause, but they get taught a specific set of instructions, and anything outside those instructions, they just think doesn't exist.
Yep.
And I've long thought that if you go through academia and you think it holds any value, you didn't understand it.
100%.
And that goes for doctors and everything else. Because it's designed to teach you that this is what we know, but there's also the stuff we don't know. And a lot of people go, no, this is correct. Like, science is correct now. This is what you believe.
No,
And it's
the
like,
essence of
no,
science is
it's meant to
continuing
teach
to
you to-
discover.
Yes. But now it's consensus-based. And
Yep.
like I say, everything's...
Fucking women.
Everything switched from hierarchy to equality, and that's the core
I almost
foundation
forgot about
problem
this.
of everything.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
had
a topic.
Yeah. Well, we'll do this one real quick because we got like
We've got
I don't know.
6 minutes to do a
we could,
topic.
yeah. No, it's fine. So there's not too much to say about this. I just thought it was kind of funny to bring it up. Cynthia Erivo is like losing her mind because fans
Can
recreated
you guess
the
what the
iconic.
P word is?
Oh, it calls out is your pea green memes offensive and it degrades me. Yeah, well, that one was stupid, but like what she really got mad about was this, and I think
Yeah.
that looks better because she
Yeah, 'cause
looks
it's more like
very
the original.
washed out, and she looks washed out there with the green and green. I don't know why they didn't want to make
Well,
it
and
look more like
anything
the
that hides
original
her
Wicked
face is a
poster.
bonus.
Yeah, and that's what she's mad about.
It's
But
like-
I did see this play, actually not on Broadway, but you know, it was in Buffalo,
I don't even know where Broadway is, to be honest.
New York City.
Oh god. Oh no. You have to go to New York? Oh.
to do Broadway. Well, they travel, but it's like the Broadway ones are like the highest, like paid ones, like the ones that become
Oh, no.
celebrities and whatever. But
No one
it
wants to
still
go
was
to
great.
New York.
I
I can smell what my own piss smells like.
love how out of all of them, there was the one she picks this one, the nicest looking one, and the one that was just paying homage, not trying to be disrespectful. None of this is funny. None of this is cute. It degrades me. It degrades us. Shut up. How? It's cute and it's just recreating the iconic poster. But I love how this is the one she picks to do this with, and not like that one where she's like, "Is your pea green?" Like that should make her. That one should have made her mad. That one's a bit more, whatever.
There
but
was
no,
one
she
as
picks
well.
the nicest one to be mad at.
There was one as well. It was like, this erases me. It's like, well, if it erases you, then don't get paid. Like, if it's that big of an issue, because this is marketing for your movie. If you don't want marketing done for your movie by the fans of the movie, leave. Like, don't get paid. Like, you shouldn't have taken this job.
Exactly.
Which
but
is
I
a
think
pathetic
this-
narcissist.
Yeah, and I think this is so. If fans don't like the movie, she's gonna pull the "you're an ist" card, right? She's gonna.
Yeah, they don't
That's what I
like
feel
green
like. She's
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck green people, man.
right. It's weird. People aren't
Well,
green.
It was like the whole thing, like, as Wicked would say, is your pee green? It's like, well, it would be really weird if it was like blue like a Smurf, because then you'd clash. And I feel like clashing body parts is way worse than just all being the same. Like, everything should be
That's a
green
hold
rather
on.
than, like, you know, you wouldn't want, like, red and green. That wouldn't go together at all.
It's Christmas colors. Well, it is. Red and green is Christmas colors. What?
You can only get
Greenest.
pregnant at Christmas. Like, look, we're
No.
Santa. Like,
We're greenists. Yes,
Josh,
we
you
are.
want to raid Okay, I had to stop myself because I realized that your name and her name were the same.
Yeah, it's true. I know people talk about it in like a bunch of group chats and stuff. And whenever I see Wicked, I'm like, what? Oh, talking about-
Yeah.
what?
Oh, no.
I was
What you
about to
said?
say, I was about to say, do you want to raid Wicked's Christmas stocking? And then I realized, oh no.
Can't say that.
You can't say that. Not on
Yeah,
this
thank God that's
stream.
been avoided.
All right, there we go. We covered 2 topics. We covered the jump scare and this. But before we do like head out, I gotta get these super chats. Thanks for hanging out with us, Evie. I know it's a long one, but you're probably used to longer ones. Tuesday night's main event and stuff. I think that's pretty long. Hey, Disbrew, not everything is dirty, okay?
I took it dirty.
Everything is.
I
Everything
saw
is.
his reaction because he was so animated with it.
No,
There's
here.
almost-
I'm just gonna
Sammy,
drop
you're
a.
probably used to longer ones.
I will drop
Yeah.
a completely unrelated fact. My husband is 6'9".
Ooh.
Do with that what you
Mm.
will, chat. That information.
That makes it even
Because
more
I-
disappointing. Yeah, you're like the best. One of the best videos I've ever seen was like someone who was like 5'2" getting really no. It was someone who was
What?
5'9" getting angry at someone who's 5'2".
I thought you were
because
gonna
she
say
had a
something
re-
else.
No, she had a really tall like husband. It's like, no, you shouldn't have taken him because I need someone taller than me, and he's one of the few people taller than me. But you're tiny. You could have taken any short king. You could have got a guy who's 5'4". He still would have been taller than you. And she was getting really annoyed that she'd taken a tall guy, even though she was really tiny. It was like, what?
That's crazy.
Guys don't have to solve any of these problems.
And thank you for the 5 savvy. The idea is to use jargon to get people to be uninterested and feel inferior. I do that instead of telling people to F off.
I do
That's-
that.
Academia does that all the time. They come up with like a
Mhm.
wall of different words
I'm trying,
specifically
mate.
so you can't understand what they're saying.
Thank you for the 2. Wicked kid with the super chats. I'm trying. I'm getting there. It's a lot easier when I also have X-Ray too because she's in control too. She's like, oh, hey, I'm going to get some of these too. If I'm not like thinking like, let's hop on it. There's usually 2 of us tackling these. And Disparu.
Also, both people don't play it like into what I'm saying. Sammy's like, oh yeah. It's like, oh.
It's fine. I love it. I'm Scottish and Ian's probably asleep right now, but thank you for the 50 pounds, Ian. I'm Scottish and I'm not in prison for tweets and I've been trying. So try harder, Disparu.
That's true. He could get in prison for a meme on his phone that he hasn't even sent, but might send in the future.
It's true.
Unironically, like
How
you
is
can,
this allowed?
it is literally a law that's got you can have a meme with intention to send.
It's not funny. I'm not laughing because it's funny.
It is funny.
Because it's ridiculous.
It's so tragic.
Look,
This
it's
is the
the
world
only
that
way-
we live in.
The only way you defeat any of this is to take the piss out of it, like
Yep.
savagely, and to humiliate them and to shame them. And every single time anyone supports them, you make them feel like the tiny, minute, insignificant piece of scum they are. Like
Yes.
you literally humiliate all of them. Like the only reason most people do it is because they want an ideology that's prepackaged for them to believe because they want to be the majority. And if they find out, no, you are the scum, you are the evil person, they won't do it because they're doing it for status in the first place.
And thank you for another 5. But Disparu, I want the freedom to have my machete gathered in the middle of the streets in broad daylight so that everyone
Mhm.
can watch and participate.
It'd be really weird if the police were in front of those people going, you know, you probably shouldn't have those, but if you just put them over here, it'd be fine. That'd be really weird.
Jadine for 4.99. Disparu, I want my firearms. I will have my firearms. I agree with that.
I am one of the few English people which is pro gun ownership. So
he agrees.
I agree. There are many parts of the American position which I agree with.
Yeah. Llama pajamas for 5. Disparu, U.S. citizens have the right to deadly force and self-defense, especially in our house. Oh yeah, you're getting yelled
That's
at
one
now.
of the things I agree with.
Well, it
Like,
depends on the state. It depends on what's actually happening.
Yeah, that's true.
It depends how many shots you're firing. Some states only allow 1. Some will allow a warning shot. And then there's good old Texas.
I agree with the your house is your castle position.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They enter your house.
Same.
Well, the one of the best videos I saw recently was I don't know how old he was, but he looked like he was like 88 or something. And he was like, these people broke in my house. They tackled me to the ground. I managed to get my gun up, and they started running away. She started begging for her life. I shot her anyway. I was like, that's the most base thing I've ever heard.
Fucking good, though. There is no reason for a single person to forcibly enter someone else's home. You forfeit your right to life when you do that.
I am very pro punishment of crime,
Yeah.
and I think the reason crime exists is because the punishments aren't high enough. And if you increase the punishment high enough, then people will stop doing it.
Yep.
And if you still have crime, you have not increased the punishments high enough.
Yep.
Shane, thank you for the 10.
No one
Just think,
thieves in
chat,
Dubai.
Wicked and Disparu's shoulders are naked underneath their shirts.
That's true.
He's not drunk enough to shoulder this week, guys. I'm sorry. Carlos, your son. Thank you for the 5. Just got home. We'll rewatch the stream. Just wanted to say hello. Love you guys, and I hope you had a great week. Thank you, Carlos. He loves Disparu. Mazza's missing Down syndrome corgi again for 5. Thank you. Also, Mazza pimps out his mom for Pokemon cards. 1 pack equals 1 week.
That's true. He has a lot of Pokemon cards.
He
This
does.
is why he
He
needs to
likes
take over the
Pokemon
world
cards.
in a criminal empire to pay for Pokemon cards.
Yeah, they'll get along great. He loves Pokemon.
Bro, I'm queen fucking autist when it comes to Pokemon.
Mozza is like that in if you want Call of Duty Zombies, Mozza knows literally everything about it.
If it's Black Ops, fucking 2 and 3, I got you on that too.
Mozza would know all of them, yeah. Mozza is very specific.
We
in
may
the
have
things.
just created some best friends. We'll tell
Yeah.
Mazda to hop into your chat and say hi. Hurricane Red Robin, yum. Oh, Charles, not wrong. Charles
I get
Bronson 69
DMs.
420. Thank you for the tip.
I've had Lady Gracemaster DM me go, you will play with me and Mozza one day. I'm like, wait, what? It's like just run. It sounds like a threat
It'll
when it comes
happen.
across. It's like, wait,
You
what?
will.
Yeah,
That wasn't
the
a
game
question.
of life.
Resubs the cripple for 5. Did I have a super chat that came through? YouTube errored as I sent it, and I got a receipt, but I didn't see the super chat. I didn't see
what
one.
Did
I have
you
them.
say?
I don't know if you're
Um,
still here. Just type it in the chat again, and we'll read it. I don't have it because the
Yeah.
super chats chart. Oh my god, the super chats get starred, and I didn't see it. So I hope you're still here and just write it in the chat.
The name isn't
That's-
familiar. You didn't.
No,
I don't
yeah,
remember you
rec-
reading that off.
Yeah, we haven't seen you yet today. Not in the supers. Clinton.
Oh, he said it in chat. He said, my
Oh, did
super
he?
was at Disparu since it is just water, salt, meat, and vegetables is the ocean soup.
Oh, there it goes.
I helped. I read one.
Thank you.
I think the ocean has to be counted as soup because if you took all the ingredients of soup from the ocean, it would be fish, water, plants. You'd count it as soup. So I think the ocean has to be soup.
Feces.
It's a big soup.
There's a lot
Hey,
of
hey.
feces.
I mean,
Poop
I-
soup.
ironically, just before the stream, I saw it was like from like a park, and this whale went down and just crabbed in the pool, and another whale came along. And
I saw that
splashed all the crabs
too!
with it. Yeah.
That was a good one. They've
Look,
been
nobody's-
blessed.
Yeah, and the thing was, there was one woman like running around like a lunatic. She's like, "Oh no, we gotta stop the show!" And there was a guy who was like, "Okay," and he was like,
Child.
It was like,
Child
"This
was
is
just
my
like,
life
"Ah."
now." And there was like kids in front going, "What is that?" It was- But yeah, I think it has. I think it has to be. No one says soup has to be nice. Soup is just water with ingredients in it.
Mm-hmm.
Clinton, thank you for the $20. At Disbrew, Sour Mash is taking the sweet mash, distilling, after distilling, adding sugar, and backseat back into fermenter, re-fermenting, and distilling again. It mellows the whiskey. It is still whiskey.
Sounds like degenerate
His
whiskey to
face.
me.
His
That
face.
sounds like whiskey for people that don't like whiskey, so they need sugar adding to it. It's like, no. Like, this is the same thing when, it's like, it's like Wicked and X-Ray. It's like, oh, I like alcohol, but only if it's got sugar and all this crap added in it, so I can't taste it. You don't like alcohol, you
No.
like sugar.
I'm
and the
literally
effect
drinking
that
whiskey
alcohol
right
has.
now on the rocks.
And that's
I
based, but that's
mixed
not what you
it.
do when X-Ray's here. You did it for Savvy because you wanted to appear more masculine.
I did this last week too. He's making fun of us because we like wine. I like wine. Jake's.
It's not wine. It's what's that bubbly crap you eat?
Oh,
Drink.
the Truly.
There
That's
you
not
go.
sugary. That's why we
Oh,
drink
everybody has a Truly face. It's fine. The
a
lockdowns
phase.
did us all
They have
dirty.
a truly face when they're 17.
They didn't come out when we were 17.
Listen,
So it's like why it's backed up. It's like everyone has to. There's like 90-year-olds going, I wish this happened when I was a kid. I would have been a right
I would have
slag,
been
yeah?
on it. Jake,
I
thank
would
you
have
for
been
the
on that
5.
Twitch attire.
This is my first time here. Well, welcome, Jake. Effing great time. This brew might be top 3 favorite panelists at this point. Cheers. Cheers. What?
You don't get that?
There's 3 panelists. I get it.
No, there's only 3 regular panelists as it is, and then you've got all the guests. It's like, well, you know.
Well,
I'm not
at least you
even
made
sure.
top
This is
3.
the thing. I'm not even sure whether it's insulting me more than anybody else at this point. I just know someone's getting insulted.
I'm not insulted.
I'm
I
having
just
a great time.
bring
Someone's
bullying
losing out
back,
to
I'm
Dan
fine.
Vask. We all know Dan Vask beats us all, right?
Okay,
so
stop simping
someone
for
is losing
Dan,
out to
just
Dan
for-
Vask.
Damn.
He's like, listen, I know Dan's number 1. Who's second and third,
Yes,
though?
yes. Look, people just at one point he'll have to stream from his shower. That's the only option we have.
This is the
Like-
first time. Maybe he got nervous because Savvy was here. He's always like, I'm in the shower. Just so you know, Saturdays is
Yeah,
shower
but no.
day.
One time he'll put like a camera there. He'll find like a waterproof 4K one, and he just like have it from there up. It's like, well,
That's what this
this
That'd
is
be a
the
good
only way you're gonna
stream,
get good
actually.
vocals.
Thank you, Rhino. And we did get that. That was, she got to see Mazda fart and yell at Labs. Mazda's retarded
Did
stinky
Mossa
cat.
fart in that that clip?
I don't think we heard it, but they were like, "Did you just fart?" Like, he
Oh, I
did.
didn't know.
He yelled and farted,
Oh.
which is very on brand for Mazda.
I mean, if he drank a
Um,
lot of beer, it's understandable.
Yeah. Oi, Mazda and I will take over the world like Dr. Evil. We'll block out the sun unless you pay us 1 billion Pokemon cards and no.
Typhlosion.
Thank you.
Listen, no, all right. The Typhlosion thing is just based off of Japanese folklore. Don't make it weird. But also, come on, based life. Literally, your fucking fluffy ass badger husband's gonna come bring you berries all day and fish. You don't have to do anything. Like, come on. All right, this living the dream.
Exactly.
The best bit about
Big
that
Rod,
is
super
if
sticker.
Mozza took over the world, like say he kidnapped somebody important, right? And they're like, well, what you want? He wouldn't know what he was going to do. He'd have no plan of what to do after he kidnapped the person. Be like, 1 billion Pokemon cards? And like, okay. Like, you know that's what would happen
1
if Mozza kidnapped
billion
somebody.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah. He'd be like,
Justin
can-
Martin
can I
says
get a
Savvy's
Blastoise?
weird. Well, that's how we like it, Justin. Aw, puppy.
She's being really
Aw.
needy.
She's cute. I love dogs.
This
She's
is the dog
adorable.
that tries to kill me and breaks my bones.
As she looks at you innocently with her ears down and puppy
It's
dog
like,
eyes.
put my ears down.
Mommy. Ed, thank you for another 5. This brew, not having healthcare is better than it not having healthcare. And the Okay, I read that right. And the
Oh, better
government
than being in
helping you ended
Canada.
up. Canada will gladly help you do both. Yeah.
Yes, although our current leader literally ran his campaign on allowing us to do that too. So it's an inevitable consequence. If you have free, so basically taxpayer-funded thing, what you end up with is a group of people who
Malamute.
the only thing they care about is lowering the budget, and one of the easiest ways to lower the budget of healthcare is to not have the people. And so it's an inevitable conclusion of what you're doing. Like, this is one of the things where it will always lead to evil. And so you just don't do it because the people involved will be evil because they have to be evil to get the job done.
Carl Anderson for 5. Thank you. Hey, you should look up Flying Squirrel Plays Dead, Fakes Crime Scene. It's a fantastic
I've seen
video.
that video.
Yeah,
Cute
did we
one.
play it on stream?
With the
Either we
broom.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played it on stream, didn't we?
That was so cute.
It was so
Yeah.
funny because this brew identifies as a squirrel.
Well, no, I've seen this.
Aw.
This happens with multiple animals, right? So this squirrel at some point would have knocked over the broom and it was on him. And he was like, well, I got treats and they really cared for me last time, so I want that same thing. So he tried to reenact it. But I've also seen cats where they want to get into the house and they last time they got into the house was when, well, my paw hurt. So I was holding my paw up and so they let me in the house. So now whenever they come back to the door, they hold their paw up. It's like, will you let me in? And it's like they limp in, and there's like, I can walk fine now. It was like animals just. One of the best things I saw, there was a human pigeon experiment, and it was literally done about superstition, and they would randomly reward the people with points or the pigeons with food. And it turned out that people would just do random acts, food came down, so they thought they were related. And so that's how superstitions and everything else work. And the pigeons were the same thing. The pigeons would start like rotating around in circles and doing complex maneuvers to get the food to come down. And the people would also do the same thing.
Dude, the story of pigeons is so sad. They're all domesticated birds that we abandoned.
I didn't know that. I suppose carrier pigeons make sense.
Yeah,
But
in
I-
America,
That's what
'cause
they
pigeons
come right
weren't
up to
native
us.
here.
They come right up to us too, like feed me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know cats are the only animal ever to have domesticated themselves. They were the only people smart enough to realize these people feed me because I'm cute. Idiots. And it was like, that's basically their entire species.
Alani, thank you for another 5. Savvy is
Incrementally.
incrementally taking over the 199 fellowship in every other corner of the internet, and I'm here for it. Savvy greater than Mazza, fight me, Disparu.
Hey, Marza will fight. We can have a Marza savvy like fight to the death.
We
Like,
could
one
see
of them
who's
will-
more autistic with Pokemon. That would be
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Pokemon
Over
card
Pokemon
battle.
cards, and whichever kind of Call of Duty zombies that you prefer, and we just whoever wins rules Australia, and then we just see what you do with it. This
She
is the
might
fight we
want-
need.
Listen, she wants to help.
This is the fight we deserve.
She wants to help Mazda take over because she's on board with things he wants to do. Just saying.
True.
Yeah, I'm more than like you can like the loser can still have sort of their own little corner of Australia, and then we just see which one's better. I want to see the Mozatopia.
He's got to see it. This is going to be a
Mhm.
bunch of banana milk, Pokemon cards, and meat pies.
It's going to be glorious.
He wants to see it. A tear's going to come down when Disparu
Hey, look,
sees
I
it.
would put him in charge of America, but it's like Australia's
I
probably
wouldn't
the
go
best
that
we can
far.
logistically hope for. I
think
would.
Australia. He can have
I would
Australia.
put him in like world government. I want Mozza to take us to space. Just to
want
see how
Mozza to
because he'd
take us
probably
to
be like,
space.
I want to build a massive catapult. That would be his first idea. And Elon's like, no,
That's
dude,
their
no.
national
that's
defense,
their
one
No.
single catapult.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, but this can fire you into space. It's like, yeah, but does anyone come back? No.
Oh,
We don't care
geez.
about them, though. You know, we just get someone from over there. They don't even like Pokemon. It's fine.
So, I mean, Mazda is better than Kamala. I'll give you that, Gravy. I'll give you that. All right. So it's getting at that time. Thank you for hanging out with us for so long. We only went over a little bit, but to be fair, we were a little bit late, so we made up for it.
And we hit
what
2
do you-
topics. I'm
Yeah,
proud of
we
us.
did it. I'm so proud of us. What do you have coming up, Savvy? Any videos, any live streams? I've got her links in the description, and I did see Hokies posting her links in the chat too. So make sure you give her a follow.
You can find
And
me
Sav-
on Twitter and YouTube at Madam Savvy. I don't have much of a schedule other than like Monday streams. I'm not sorry. I'm still going to be going on about Pokemon for the next few days as the leaks
That's fine, just
continue
make-
to leak.
You will see the real Mazda in your chat soon enough.
I hope
You
so.
summoned him with the Pokemon.
Like that is a war that needs to happen.
Ed, thank you for the 5.
And the
Homeless
thing is,
Simulator-
you can abuse him as much as you want. He likes it. Like that's the weird thing. Like people
Huh.
insult him, and he keeps like returning stronger.
It's
like
true. He likes it.
He
He
draws
likes it.
power off it. It's
he likes
strange.
it. He basically said that. Like he likes if you're gonna insult him rather
Yeah.
than be too nice.
This
Homeless
is a guy
Simulator-
who's one of his memes was like having a fight behind the back of Woolies, and Woolies doesn't even exist anymore.
On his head, it does. Taught me that pigeons are a ranged weapon you use this to subjugate other homeless. It is a part of the arsenal to help you become Hobo King. That's crazy. And
That,
Shane,
that
thank you for
kind of
the
happened in
10.
John Wick 4. Like the guy who like got defeated because they slashed him to death just ruled the pigeons, and then he decided to rule the underworld and bring back John Wick and John Wick 4 with his pigeon powers.
Shane, thank you for the 10. Thanks for the stream. So pleasant to listen to and so pleasant to look at. You're talking about
You're
this
welcome.
through. Thank you so
Resident
much,
lesbian.
guys.
Mhm.
Yes, he is.
You know what, this is the whole thing. When people are like, oh no, Hollywood's been so great because it's added a load of diverse content, and one of the best things that like lesbians have given us recently is the Acolyte. I'm like, lesbians have been giving us great content for decades. Like you underestimate their power
Please,
Oh,
yes.
I want
because I'm worth it.
Yes.
The
Let's
best
get
thing about those
episodes
clips
used
is
to
always
have-
X-Ray Girl going, yes! Like at the end of it.
Yes,
Like
she's,
a
a,
yes
she's a type
queen.
woman. She is. She's a type woman for sure. What do you have coming up? Just probably a couple videos because Thursday's like your busy recording day.
There was videos I was supposed to be doing, and then every time a stream got in the way, so I was like, well, I'm not going to finish it today. There's a Rings of Power thing with the showrunners giving interviews. There's Agatha. I never know how the Agatha videos are going to turn out until they turn out, and after that, we'll see. I've spent a lot of time in the Rings of Power video though, because the interviews are really bizarre from every direction. Like, can you imagine getting interviewed as a showrunner for a show by a shill that you know is too polite to tell you that he hates the show, and mid-interview you're like, yeah, we're just gonna move on from that question because we know you don't like the answer. I'm like, what? Like, this is one of your shills. This is the nicest interview you're ever going to have, and you're taking the piss out of him because you know he won't actually tell you like what he thinks. It's wild.
It's
That's
crazy.
so crazy.
It's that's why listen, Disparu's videos are worth watching for Agatha because they're funnier and better than the show. So make sure you check
That's
it
not
out.
difficult though.
Not for you. You just go off. Like I'll see you post a video and I'm like 40 minutes.
Like
This
Agatha
video
at
is
all.
longer than the episode.
You could have like someone pulling their toenails out would be more like entertaining than Agatha. It's like, well, you know, at least it's not
Disparu
like a
is greater
homicidal
than Disney
maniac.
Plus. This is true.
Hmm.
And I have tomorrow my Sunday night Scream stream with a capable gentleman. I think we're going to be playing Demonologist. I learned how to do better. We got the exorcisms going last week, so we're expert demonologists now. And then Monday, I think the History of Pirates podcast is going to be back on Monday with Jay X-Wing and whoever else is joining. I don't know who's going to be there. So that's what I have going on. Thank you again so much for joining, Sammy. This was so much fun. I'm glad I finally got to have a stream with you and chill. Actually, I was like, oh, you'll love her. You'll love her. And we've been trying to like plan this, and it just sucks that she wasn't here for it. But you know, if I don't think Disparu scared you off because you're BFFs now, so you can
Well, no,
come
I mean,
back
I didn't
whenever you
expect
want.
someone to say repealed the 19th on this stream. I was
Yeah,
like, well, that's going to be
he's
the day I get
impressed.
cancelled. Yeah.
He's like,
That's
going to
be the day I get banned off everything.
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be a stream on this one Saturday where the police just start knocking on my door and you're going to see them come in. It's like, oh no.
Here
I
we
said
go.
one thing too far. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, we're gonna let Savvy go rest. It's been a long one. I want to rest too, to be honest. I'm tired. This Drew's probably gonna go drink some milk.
I'm going to play
thank you.
Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, there you go. But all right, we are out, guys. You're awesome. Thank you, and welcome in everyone new. Make sure again check out Savvy. Her links are all in the description, and we'll see you next week. Bye.